People, we're back in the Premier League. Here we go. Boys, we're back in the Premier League. Boys, we're back in the Premier League. Everyone, we're back in the Premier League. We're back in the fucking Premier League, everyone. We're fucking back in the Premier League. Boys, we're back in the Premier League.
We are Premier League. So
we are Premier League. 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 Come on!
I don't think you heard me. We are Premier League. Come on!
Oh, people. How is everyone feeling? How is everyone? As everyone knows, all of us.
I've actually got marks up my arm, still pinching myself. Was that a dream yesterday? Are we just going to wake up? But it's
emotional. It's just unreal.
And I'm going to put out there, right? I'm just going to put out there. I cried my eyes out. When that final whistle went, I was in a heap.
When that whistle went, mine started going. I was bubbling a little bit.
I was gone.
I looked at Des and he were the same. We were just.
I'm going to put it out there. I didn't cry at all. Not one.
You heartless God.
No, just took it in my side.
It just overwhelming. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
People, how is everyone? I'm saying it's emotional. I feel like crying. Like it's not. It's like I need to go to bed, wake up. I'm thinking it's not all true. People in the comments, how are you feeling? We're back in the Premier League.
Surreal.
Before I get to, everyone knows. I don't need to introduce everyone. I feel like crying now. I feel like.
Don't start that.
I'm not going to start this off. People, put in the comments, how are you feeling? How is everyone feeling today? If you're new to the channel, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you know. I'm 400. If you can get me to 8K before this review show's done, I'll be so happy. Let me start with the first one. Lee Goodburn. How you doing, Lee?
I'm amazing. How are you? I'm tired, but it's amazing. Didn't get home till 1 this morning, and then obviously I got to celebrate, haven't we? So obviously back pretty much a few hours sleeping back out. Unreal. Just so happy. Like it's not when they say, oh, it's only a game. It really just isn't a game. Not to us Forest fans. There's just so much more involved in it. Our feelings, our emotions, everything. I'm just reading some of these comments at the side. They're gonna get me going, man. I'm not gonna do it. Not on camera.
Stephen, like I'm talking about the story with Stephen. He's struggling to get a ticket. I got him a ticket, and he gave me the biggest hug before the game. I never. Stephen, how you feeling, Stephen?
Yeah, that hug meant a lot, Ben, because you boys who live in that area know how much Nottingham and the club. I got like a spiritual home there. When I came home, my wife said Nottingham is my second home, and if you boys don't realise, I'm going to start tearing up now, but if you boys don't realise how much this club means to me, it means everything to me. I am like a Forest through and through. Like everyone lives around this area knows how much I love that club. And yesterday, the reason why I cried is because 23 years of just built up frustration. You you can call it abuse. I've had some vile abuse of people. I've had banter. I've had teasing. I've had just patronising. I've had it all, the ups and downs. I've travelled the length and breadth of this country to watch my team. I've been a Crew Alexander on my own in the rain to watch them draw 0-0 at the dump of a ground. You know, I've gone out my way to travel everywhere to watch my club. And yesterday, just well, the best day of ever in my football life. It was just unbelievable. I can't put it into words, boys. And if that, you know, if that doesn't tear up a bit, then I don't know what will, because coming from someone who's not even from Nottingham, you know, it's just, it is. And the reason why I got tattoos all over my body is just, you know, it's just, Ben, I can't put into words how much I'm grateful you got me a ticket yesterday, because if I'd missed that yesterday, I would have kicked myself. So that's all I got to say to start off, you know, start it off really.
This is what Forest fans for, Stephen, to help everyone out, and I'm happy that I helped you out. So it means a lot to me as well. Last but not least, like Des Alden. Let me see about Des. Like, I've not told him. This guy, like, I wanted to get Dylan on today as well. But when I was phoning Des, where are you, Des? Where are you, Des? I see Michaela said to me, "I've seen Des." Went, no, he's an emotional wreck. I was like, what? He's an emotional wreck? I was like, yes, Ben, he's an emotional wreck. I was like, okay. Des, where are you? Where are you? I seen Des. I've never, like, he's like 8-year-old crying as emotional as nothing. And it made me cry as well. It made me cry as well as a Forest fan. And he set me off yesterday, man, Des. He set me off big time. And Des, tell everyone, like, what did it mean to you to get the Premier League?
You've just set me off again. It was incredible. A bit like what Stephen said there. You know, there's some personal circumstances around it as well. You know, everybody. I'm not going to bore everybody, but this year is a big year for me. You know, I'm getting married to Kay, and it's that's all been a thing for me personally. And following Forest, there's always been that release when things haven't been quite so good or going my way, you know, and it feels like everything's come at the same time, and it just feels absolutely amazing. It feels like, you know, it feels like destiny. I put a social media post out there yesterday saying this felt like Forest date with destiny. It almost feels like my date with destiny, you know, and it's happening. Everything's happening the way it should be, and it's working. And yesterday, you know, as soon as they put that video on, I was gone. You know, the Robin Hood video, the clips of Forest. I was gone. I couldn't control it, and Michaela kept looking at me, and it was making me worse. I was just thinking, wow. And I'm not somebody, you know, I talk about feelings and positivity and the things I do on Do Daily. I'm not someone who particularly shows much emotion in that sense. I'll speak honestly and openly, and I can control it. I can control my feelings. But yesterday, there was no controlling anything. I was just gone all the way through. I was shaking like I'll just say it, like a shitting dog. Shaking all the way through. And then at the end, I just really couldn't control it. You know, it's 23 years, and I tried sort of putting it into some context for people who don't know about football. It's just something we invest so much time in. Like Steve said, you get stick, you know, you have to deal with the crap, the bad times. And whether people actually believe in football and get it, we invest time, effort, energy, money. You know, why shouldn't we get worked up about it? It's that real and raw emotion. And again, through the things I talk about daily on Do Daily, it's that real emotions that come out. You know, nothing has got us up here and down here within the space of 5 minutes in life. Nothing gets us that way. So for me, it was just everything. You know, my personal situation rolled in with the 23 years of following the team and just getting back to a place. And now it's massive. You know, where we were in 1998 is big. Now it's just been blown out of proportion since then. This is massive for me, you guys, every other Forest fan, everybody in Nottingham. It's absolutely massive. And that's why it meant so much, because I just think this is going to sort of just take us into another world.
100%. People in comments, I said, how was your experience, Lee, Stephen, and Des just said how they felt before the game. And me personally, like I was the last 5 minutes. If no one saw the picture on Twitter, and Malcolm took it. I didn't know. I was sat there, hands on my like this, and I couldn't. Craig said to me, and Craig never says this. Ben, I've never seen you so silent for 90 minutes. I do what I usually do. I do my usual vlogging, but from that I wasn't saying much. I was nervous, everything. Even the guy behind me saying, Ben, why are you not saying much? Because I was absolutely nervous as hell. And to see that whistle blown and the announcer saying Nottingham Forest are back in the Premier League, I sobbed. I absolutely sobbed, and I didn't cry as much, but to see our club get back in the Premier League, it's something that, especially the younger fans, like we've seen the Premier League before, and like Des mentioned in the 97-98 season, but the bottom of my heart, it's just like I was just hugging everyone, absolutely everyone, outside of people I don't know, people who dislike me on social media. I said to me, Ben, I apologise for the way I gave you stick, and I thought, you know what, at least in my heart means it's nothing. People on social media say it didn't mean nothing. But when you see in person, I say, Ben, I apologise for what I said. I'll give you a hug between the Premier League. It means a lot. And as Forest fans, like I said, we've had the bad days. We've had the emotional downs. But now we can talk about we're a Premier League club now. And all of us, and you lot, can now say we can watch Forest in the Premier League. And it means it just all these emotions. Me yesterday before the game, I hugged Des. I never hugged Des in my life like that before. I was gutted. I was gutted. I didn't meet Lee. I was gutted. I didn't meet Stephen before the game. After the game as well. Yeah, I'm just like right now. I'm getting a bit. Yeah, just be back in Premier League, people. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm just getting a bit tearful now. So. Lee, we've seen the downs, like especially the last 5 years under Marinakis' tenure. It's like as a Forest fan now, how like everyone's together now. We're back in the Premier League. How do you feel now with all what's happened? We're going to the Premier League.
Happy.
I can't believe I'm saying it.
I might not look happy. I'm just overwhelmed with everything. Like all from yesterday, all from today. It's been massive. Do you know what makes me happy is the fact we've now don't have to be a selling club in the sense of we don't sell our talent off because we've got the money. We haven't got to worry about FFP. We've got financial stability, providing it's managed right. And I have faith with what's going on. It will be managed right. And for me, having that security and not having to worry anymore, it's just massive. And I think that's why I got a bit emotional when the whistle went yesterday, knowing we haven't got to sell Jono. Worrell doesn't have to go. You know what I mean? Just to keep the club going. So for me, it's massive. Obviously, I'm a lifelong Forest fan, like from the 80s, from when I was born, 1980. All it's been is Forest for me, and I've seen a few ups, even though I was really young. Seeing a hell of a lot of downs, and this is just feelings-wise, this is just unreal. Just to see all the Forest fans all together rejoicing and like one big family, it's just amazing. I can't. It's hard to put into words. It's just a feeling that you can't describe. It's overwhelming.
Stephen, like I said, you mentioned Stephen, like you're from Wales. You go to every club. like every match as you can.
Yeah.
But now you went to the game. Like, what was your emotions like, Stephen, when that final whistle went?
Well, like I said earlier, I touched on. I cried, but I literally slouched in my seat, put my scarf on my head, and the guy behind me was actually massaging me, which is really. But he was all over me. The guy just literally jumped on my back, and he was just hugging. There's grown blokes kissing me, like, just from left, right, and centre. Like you said, Ben, just people hugging. The guy next to me was a bag of nerves. He did, for the last 30 minutes, he did not move a muscle. The guy to the left of me, he was a bag of nerves. And when the final whistle went, he was going mental. But like I said, like Lee touched on, what went through my head when that final whistle went was the 23 years, like I said, of that constant, you're a small club, you never get back in the Premier League, you're just Forest, you're this, you're that, you're a laughing stock, you bottlers. All that emotion, I just went, you know what, screw you all, we're back. That's why I sent that video of me crying, that just emotion and that. Yeah, it's just that emotion just let out just that. It was almost like aggression as well, just like stick my fingers up to all them people who just ever put Forest down in a. We all know, we're all football fans on here. We know when people are being nasty and people are being honest. And I've had some nasty people over the years comment on Forest to me because I live in this area, as you can imagine. Like them playoff heartaches against like the Swansea and all that. I've had, I think, as 2 years ago, which was funny enough, under Cooper when Swansea done that really bad day. I had the amount of abuse I had on social media, and I had to come off social media because I was going through a rough time as well, but also just the people going out their way to be nasty and throw insults at me. And you know what? All that emotion in my head just thought, you know what? Who's having the last laugh now? And we got the man in charge. It's funny how things come full circle. And I still got, because I live in the area, I hate to bring them up, but I got these Swansea fans in my ear. Oh, they're just bitter and jealous because that man has taken us to the promised land, you know, back where we belong. And you know, I'm just walking around so smug now and arrogant. I don't care. I'm walking on my Forest top on. I know I've had people come to me in the street today, funny enough, and say, "Well done, you're back in the Premier League." You know, on a positive note, I've had a lot of good messages of people as well. My phone just blew up last night when I got home. I had tons and tons of messages of people just congratulating me, like, and people who know me personally, like, not the people who got their way to send insults, but the people who really know me, like back here. They've sent me personal messages saying they know how much it meant to me yesterday. They know how much it meant to me. I can't describe how much it meant to me, boys. That's all I'm saying. As a non-Nottingham person, it's just something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I was like born there and I reborn in Nottingham or something. I got Robin Hood blood in me or something. But like I said, I can't put into words how much. Like I was devastated. I couldn't go up and watch the parade today. That would have meant the world to me, you know. It's just. I can't put into words, Ben. That's the final whistle went, and I just could not believe it. Do you know what? It was like my life flashed before me. It was like I seen Garner and Johnson run to the crowd, and the guy behind me, like I said, was just pulling me left, right, and centre. And he said, "We've done it, we've done it." I just like, what have we really done it?
That's how it's mad. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad because
it was just like these players running everywhere, and just the confetti was going and. I just looked down and the view I had from the top, the scarves going mental, and everyone and the flare and the jumping up and down was just a sight to behold, and it'll be lodged up there now for the rest of my life. You know, I'm sure. Hopefully, we'll have more brilliant times to come. But that yesterday, it was all worth it. Just that final whistle going.
Dad, has it kicked in yet that we're in the Premier League to you, Dad? Has it kicked in yet? Because I met Stephen, Des and Lee at the finish at Market Square, and it still doesn't think it's in the Premier League. Does it feel? How are you feeling there? Has it sunk in yet?
It hasn't, and for all the emotions, you know, I'm trying to enjoy the moment as well. Don't get me wrong, I've had plenty to drink, as you'd expect. Probably living a hangover and just about blagging my way through this right now. But no, it doesn't. But you know, the celebrations today were incredible as well, weren't they? They're definitely worth I mentioned, so I've been to those things before, and sometimes they're sort of over before they've started, and they can be a bit drab, and they bring the manager out for 5 minutes, and they bring the players out, and they lift the trophy, and they go away. But again, it was just incredible, wasn't it? The connection, what we saw today at Market Square, they didn't want to leave that balcony, and why should they? And I think seeing all that, just it started to give me that sense that this is massive, as I touched on before, how big things were. But I don't think it'll really. There'll be little sort of points along the way. Today was a help. The fixture release will be the next point where we go, wow. The big thing for me, and the thing I've craved for years and years to get in the Premier League, and again, the reason for some of that emotion was since we were last in the Premier League, the coverage now is you can't turn Sky on at any point during the day and not be hearing about Premier League teams or this or that. And I'm a bit of a football nerd, as you know. I love to really get into it and watch it and look at the tactics and things like that. And I just want to watch wall-to-wall football. So the more I get a Forest, the more coverage that's there. I just can't wait because it was it's so much bigger than it was before. It was quite big then, but now it's absolutely massive. And I think we touched on the fact coming out of the stadium, we're going to be on Match of the Day every week. Little things like that are huge because it just gives you that sort of excitement, that anticipation. And again, I think as the season. I don't think it'll really sink in for all of us until the start of the season, and then it'll be like, wow, because I think we'll see lots of small but big changes around the City ground. The national press will be there. You might see this is different. This is different. In the grand scheme of things, individually they might not be that big, but I think we'll see lots of things. I remember going to West Brom this season and saying. There's so much about the place that felt so much more advanced than Forest because they've spent 2-3 sort of seasons in between the yo-yo in the Premier League. And I think once the season gets going, we're going to be like, wow, it's really happening now. So there was it today. The crowd yesterday, listening to the way that I've only watched the celebrations back so far. I watched them when I got home late last night, but listening to the way the commentators were saying that was the loudest when they've ever heard Wembley. Even Don Goodman said that. He said he's been commentating on the playoff final since 2007, and that's the loudest they've ever heard that somebody celebrate the final whistle. That just tells you how big we are and how big it's probably going to be because every game at the City Ground, look at what we've had this year. Every game next season is going to be immense, isn't it?
100%. Before I get to panel talk about yesterday's game, I'm just going through the comments. I saw some Premier League content. So Premier League content. I'm coming for you. There's a new sheriff in town. So if any of you Premier League content want for me, you know where I am. I'm coming for you lot. There's an awesome content here. Congratulations, guys. Great to have you back in the Premier League. Yeah, like it is. Like I said, with my channel, we're back in the Premier League. It's just not about me. If any Premier League content, want content me, content Des, content Lee, content Stephen, or content anyone that is in the DoreOnTour podcast, we're here. The new sheriffs are in town, so it's just be something new.
Real in that comment, isn't it? Like from that Arsenal fan, welcome back to the Premier League. Processing that, just in my mind.
That, exactly. It's absolutely mad.
Ben, can I just quickly ask you on behalf? I got a Spurs mate, and he asked me today. He wants to get on your channel next year for the Spurs game. Yeah, he watches your channel while I'm on there because I'm good mates with him. But he wants to get on your channel when Forest play Spurs. So yeah, I said I'll ask Ben.
He comes once, but there's quite a lot of Spurs fans, Steve. Quite a lot.
We've got a list, yeah.
There's a list.
Demand now, Ben. You're going to get a demand now. That's the
Listen
problem.
to me, right? Since we've got in Premier League,
good problem.
It's a good problem to have because since we've got in Premier League, and wow, this is funny, and Des will know as well. on the tram back, and I'm happy to tell people this. We're on the tram back to us train, and a sponsor coming straight away. A sponsor. I'm like, we've just probably all got automatic promotion. Guess how long was it? For like an hour. I'm like, this. Is this how? This what happens on social media? Nottingham Forest are back in the Premier League, and this happens. I've had 4 people contact me. Now we're back in the Premier League. This is why, like I said, we're back in the Premier League, people. Like I said, if there's any content creators or people from the Premier League that wanna, people from me, yourself, or like I said, Lee, Stephen, or Des, contact me and we'll sort it out. Because, like I said, I want people to grow. The Premier League, it's gonna be massive for us, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's gonna be something new, and I'm buzzing. I'm still gonna have the same panel, my channel. I'm not gonna change everything because the people that stuck by my channel from the start of the season to now, I'm gonna keep it at that level. And before, like I talk about the game tomorrow, I'm gonna do another show as well. If there's any Forest fans, and I'm not, who's out of the UK that want to come on my channel tomorrow, please do. I'm gonna do another show at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So if there's any Forest fans, like I said, want to come on tomorrow at 8 o'clock out of the England, please contact me because I want to talk to you. And then I might do another show on Wednesday, talk about people from Nottingham or wherever in the UK, and then we'll talk about how you feel about being a Forest fan in the Premier League. As well, people, hit the like button as well, people, if you can. Subscribe to Mr. Dude Daily as well. He's got, if no one knows who Des is, Des has got a channel. His link is below in the description as well. And as well, people, how did anyone enjoy my vlog? I put it out at 6 o'clock. I enjoyed it. To celebrate, seeing the celebrations. I was just hugging it. If no one's, right, I don't know if no one saw the vlog. I don't know if you've not seen it. There was a guy running down the stairs. I don't know who he was. He bloody jumped on me, hugging me. I'm holding my camera. I'm like, we fucking made it. We bloody made it. We bloody made it. That is just like, I don't know. It's just that kind of thing. It gets me. Right. I'm looking for comments. I will be getting this man back on my show soon. Here he is. This is a comment, Mr. Kevin Campbell. You guys saving the moment because it's so special. Enjoy it, Kev. I do apologize. I will contact you tomorrow. I might get Kev on the show. Kev, Tuesday or Wednesday, Kev, you can come on. If you, I'm afraid because I've been so busy. But Kevin, the legend, this man as well. This season, it's been on my channel, and you messaged me before and after the game, and take advantage of this. We'll take advantage of this. So, Kevin, peace and love. Thank you, Kev, for the happy times that you've made. You've made Des happy. You made Steve Lee happy. You made Steve 100%. Happy. Made everyone happy. Thank you, Kevin Campbell, and as well the other ex-Voice players that's been on my channel. I don't want to keep on mentioning. There's loads of them, but Kevin Campbell's been more on my channel most of the season, and honestly, thank you, Kevin, for coming on. But yeah, Kevin, I want Kevin on. I'll message you after the stream, Kev. Lee, let's talk about the game, and I can't remember Samba making a single save.
I'll tell you why, Ben. They didn't have one shot on target. I've looked at the stats. Not one. Not one. We controlled the game. We had 52% possession overall. And, okay, we didn't have a great deal on target, but they had 0 shots on target. The first half, I think, with them sitting deep, it actually played into our hands. It gave us the ball. We were nice and calm. We never really got out of first gear. We did what we needed to do to get the goal. Albeit a deflection, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how they go in, can come off the backside. A goal's a goal. Whipped a great ball in, whether it was a shot, cross. Yatesy put himself in there, put the pressure on, turned it into the net. Second half, you expected them to come out a little bit, but to be honest, I'm going to say I was quite disappointed with Huddersfield, to be fair. I was expecting a lot more for a playoff final from them. We just never really had to get out of first gear, did we? We didn't even have to turn anything on. It was just literally stay calm, control the game, defend when you have to, see the game out. And that was literally it. We never strained ourselves at all. Like, say, Samba and even Horvath didn't have a save to make. So, yeah. Great. It was a great game, really. I think
It was. I'm asking this. When we scored that goal, what did you do when we scored that goal, Steve?
I turned to the nervous guy on my left, jumped on him, knocked him flying almost down the stairs. And then this guy to my right, I kissed him on the head with a really greasy head. I just gave him a big kiss on top of the head, and I almost went flying over the top. It was almost like I thought it went over the bar at first. It was like slow motion. The boys behind me all got on their phones. Did Ryan Yates score? And we all checking, obviously, because they didn't really clarify if it was an own goal or Yates scored it. Or, unless someone did see that in the comments, or if anyone can correct me on that. No one did they actually put was an own goal on the screen? I'm not sure, but we'd all say did Yates score? But
I knew the own goal. I knew the own goal.
I didn't. I thought Yates scored it. See, but it happened so quick. And like my view on the game, I didn't think it was the best game in the world, to be honest with you. I think it was maybe the fact that I just was watching it through absolute nervous eyes, and I just thought I want this game over and done with. I just want this 90 minutes to come and go once we win in 1-0 up. I thought I agree with Lee, Huddersfield were disappointing. It started really winding me up these on the radio, and I'd get people saying, "Oh, you lucky mind, they should have had penalties." Don't care. I don't care. We do this, luck. You know what? We forget what we had in that Bournemouth game. I really don't care if Huddersfield should have had a penalty. Who cares?
All season we've had terrible decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cost us automatic, hasn't it?
But
let's be real.
These idiots who come up with these comments, you know, they don't know what they're talking about because they're looking from the outside in. When you support your club, that's why I don't try and comment on too many other clubs, because I'm not there watching them week in, week out. Because why should they comment? They don't know what kind of luck we've had this year. So, yeah, maybe they should have had a penalty, but they didn't. So stop crying. Get over it. We won. We're going up. So I don't care.
I'm loving that, Steve. I'm loving that. Before, I think there's a quote for you, Des. Where is it? Even last, sorry for being late for the party. Oh my God, the nerves were yesterday, and we're going out tomorrow after first day training to celebrate. Des, I'm actually catching up with your vids. So people, Des got a fan there. I'm sick of tired. Like, who was it, Des? Someone comes to Des after the game and say, "Oh, Des, I want a picture." Des, no, I'm having this. This guy's getting more popular than me. Des, tell everyone, how was your celebration when we scored?
Do you know what? It was quite subdued in all reality. Again, for all those emotions, you know, it was just. I just felt like I was just wishing time away. You know, once that goal went in, it was just a case of wishing time away. And I always talk again through the things I do that we should never do that. But the reality is, I was just wishing it away, and I was looking at the clock every 30 seconds. You know, and I think that's what was making me nervous, making me quiet. You know, of course, we already said it was emotional, so that it wasn't limbs like it has been recently. It was almost like, yes, and then come on, we've got a job to do, you know. And it was fantastic, wasn't it? It was all a bit bizarre how the goal went in. I don't know if it was the angle we saw it from or what. We had a great view, to be said, but I don't know. I didn't know whether it was going to get disallowed at first, and it was kind of that anticlimax thing. But you know, as for the game, Lee was talking about the game there. I think in the first half, Forest used that big pitch we've been talking about for weeks. But I think in the end, it come back to sort of bite both teams a little bit. I think Forest went out of steam massively in the second half, because they'd done so much running into spaces, you know, trying to beat men, trying to get around the back of them. Huddersfield didn't really show anything, and then when they had to come out, they did okay in getting forward, but they didn't have enough to get beyond us, you know, because again the big pitch, I think it did for them. So they were getting across the halfway line, they had the possession, and we just kind of gobbled it up a little bit, you know. We soaked it up. We have to say, you know, we've been moaning about refereeing decisions. They were penalties, but I'm not bothered. It's none of our business.
None of my business. None of my business.
It's none of our business, not my problem. But there were penalties, and I do feel if they'd have gone in, we look like we were tiring. We know some of the players have been playing through injuries. Of course, Sam Surrey's today's flown out. The reason he weren't there today, he's flown out to Germany for an operation.
Yeah.
And there's one or two others that we believe that have been carrying injuries. And I just think we was running out of steam. But at the end of the day, we got the goal. We made the better half chances in the first half, because Huddersfield, like you say, never made more than a half chance, even for what they threw forward in the second half. I just think the pitch kind of got the better of both teams for different reasons. What I will say, and I want to make a point of this, Huddersfield's application was shocking. Whether it was the fans, the team, what an attitude we kind of experienced from an opposing set of fans. We was trying to speak to them, before the game, and they'd given up. I kept getting told we're not bothered. We're not bothered what happens. And then by kickoff, all they were saying is, we want to beat you lot because you're arrogant. No, we was actually excited. There's a difference between being excited. And then when it comes to the football, I just felt the football matched the enthusiasm from the fans. And I thought, I'm so glad I'm glad we got the result. But all this they've been talking about being a good side this season, well, give it a go in the big game then. Because in the two big games we've played them, we've had the measure of them, haven't we? And I think without, it's easy to say now, and a season is a season, but without that sticky patch at the start, we wouldn't have even been playing in the playoffs. So, the best side won yesterday, no matter what they say. The best side won. We got promoted. We was the best side in the playoffs, regardless of that second leg. Perhaps it was all catching up with us at the end, but we got over the line. Yeah. We showed some resilience. And again, I put something out there last night when I was watching the celebrations on my own social media. It was surreal then, because this is not what we do. We don't have these celebrations. We don't get emotional. We do in a different way. We want to cry for genuine reasons, but it just felt like we've got to take all this in. Whatever's happened, let's not get bogged down with the negatives, penalties, this, that, Huddersfield. I know I've spoken about it there, and just bloody enjoy it. And that's what was fantastic about it, wasn't it? The goal, enjoyed it. It was a bit of a nightmare trip home, as you know, standing up on the train. But I've enjoyed today. I've enjoyed those.
That was the worst bit.
Absolutely loving every minute of it for the time being.
Can I just read out? Sorry, Ben. This tweet. Des mentioned Huddersfield, right? This tweet this person put out today, classic. Was 2 games away from a Burnley Huddersfield being a Premier League fixture. Ended up with Leeds against Forest in the Premier League. Thank God.
You know what? That's a bad tweet.
I got a few Leeds fans, mates, right? And I said to all of them, I want Forest against Leeds in the Premier League.
100%.
That's going to be huge.
I can't. This man, I don't know. I don't know who was speaking to. Who do I want in the Premier League next season? Yeah, personally, I want Liverpool away, but
what, first game?
No, I just can't wait for them.
All right.
It's been, like I said, it's been 23 years. I want the whole 19 clubs. I want all of them. And in hindsight, like I said, no disrespect to the Championship teams now, because now we're going and saying bye-bye to the Championship and that. But going to Arsenal, I've been Arsenal, I've been Chelsea, I don't know how many times, Liverpool, we're playing Man City. We're going to see Haaland. We're going to see Haaland, the best striker in the world.
As well.
At the City ground as well.
De Bruyne.
Can't comprehend it, can you? Foden, all of these.
Exactly. These lot come to the City ground. It's just.
This is not going to be an FA Cup occasion. This is a league.
And
yeah,
I've seen, and you know what? I can't believe that. I'm going to put through this guy on. I can't remember the guy's name. I was going when I was happy, jolly. Some guys, and if you're watching, I don't care if you get upset about this. This guy came up to me and said to me, "Oh, Dor, how you feeling?" Emotional, blah blah blah. And the comment he said, I prefer to stay in the Championship. And I went, what? I prefer to be in the Championship because I don't like the Premier League. And I said to him, "Are you having a laugh?" I went, "Don't get me wrong. I'm happy Forest got promoted, but the Championship is more better. Listen to me, right? I've said it on my podcasters. It was 2 years ago. 2 years ago on. I hate the Championship. It's a horrible league. Like I said, no disrespect to the clubs. Like I said, I've been to all the games and they've got their own fans as well. Like going to Pride Park. Am I gonna miss going to Pride Park? How the heck? No, I'm not. This guy said to me, "No, I preferred. It's more the atmosphere is more better because you've got teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, Man U. They're more of a tourist club than anything else." But no, as a Forest fan, I want to go to these clubs. I want to go to these. It's not like I said. Don't worry. The Premier League is going to be tough. It's going to be really, really, really hard.
But sorry, can I just interrupt? The thing is, you're going to see world-class players, and when we lose, it's going to be because we've lost to an absolutely, pretty much a great side. Even the lower Premiership sides are going to have some class players in, and you're going to see brilliant football. You don't mind losing if you're playing a team that is just literally better than you.
Yeah.
When it's everyone's scrapping and they get a scrappy goal in, it's not great to watch, is it? If you lose, but you do your best and you see the quality that's on there, you can just stand up and admire it, can't you? You know what I mean?
I've said, just to touch on Lee's point, I've said for years, right, and take this as you will. I've always said I'd rather watch us a match of the day, get thumped 4-0 at the Etihad and get outplayed. It's going to sound really weird, than lose to Preston North End away on a Tuesday night, up Deepdale or something like that. Because I think like Leeds thinking the same as me, our train of thought is we haven't seen that for so long. We want it. We want that Premiership football. And if it does, like I agree with you, Lee, 100%. What you just said, hit the nail on the head is if we do get spanked by Man City, yes, you will get Forest fans go, "Oh, no, they are a world-class side." If they spank us 4-0, Man City have beaten like United, Liverpool, and these great teams 4-5-0 in the past. It's no shame. It's just we are there now. We are there not to make the numbers up. We've got to be competitive. And yes, we are going to get a few tune-ins. It is going to happen. That is the Premier League.
You'd rather mix it with the big boys, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Than the minnows. You'd rather mix it with the big boys and lose gracefully than...
Yeah, and can I just say one more thing, right? Is I was talking to a few lads on the way on the train, and I said, look, like the old cliches, right? Next season we have to look at ourselves. Our season not based on the Chelsea's, Man City, Liverpool's away and all that. It's against the Brentfords, the Brightons, the Wolves down. They're the games we've got to target. That's the cliche, but that's the way it is. And we've got to know where we stand. We're not going to go to Anfield and turn them over 3-0.
We are. No.
We can only.
No. I disagree with you. I want to spank him
next season. I do.
Ben, I'd love to spank him at Anfield, but I'm looking realistically, all right. You know where I'm coming from, don't you? Like,
yeah.
It's if we come out of there, like it's just I just say one quick story, right? I got a Swansea mate, right? He went to watch Swansea play Liverpool when Swansea first went up, right? And Liverpool were winning 4-1, right, at Anfield. Like Suarez, right? All them great players. And Swansea fans were calling the Swansea players rotten. You disgrace. And these Swansea fans turned and said, where were you when we were playing the likes of Hartlepool, these terrible teams? We losing 4-1 to Liverpool at Anfield. And that's what we got to remember. You've got to get Forest fans doing the same. If we're going to get spanked, if we're getting spanked next season at the Etihad 4-0, like Lee said, you just got to hold your hand up and go, we're playing world-class teams. And it's going to be scary thought, the likes of De Bruyne and all these great players turn up the City ground, but we just got to embrace it.
Yeah, you've got to enjoy it. I've got a question for Des Andor and even the people in the comments. Would you take Forest being a yo-yo side for a while? Or is it we've got to stay? Obviously, we want to stay. But I'm just saying, would you take that for a few years until we finally get that stability?
I'll answer that, Lee, because what I was thinking, you've just had that conversation there about, it all started with Dole asking the question about someone saying that they prefer the Championship. I can see that point in some way about sort of preferring the Championship, but what Forest need is to be. They need the money for a start, and they need to be competitive. You know, they need to get into that league and be really competitive. If we're getting spanked 4-0 every week, it's going to be a hard season. Don't get me wrong. It's all right saying it's easy to take. It'd not be easy to take. But on the back of what you just said there, Lee, you know, if we do yo-yo for a season or two, we're going to be in a much stronger position in the Championship. I don't think for a season or two in the Premier League, we're going to spend 23 years out of it again. And the problem has been, you know, ever since those days, it was the guys who took us to the Premier League. You know, I keep seeing Kev's name flash up through the comments. The guys who took us to the Premier League and decimated the team, you know, and then obviously took money out of it as well. And we've had money issues since, you know, through Nigel Darty, through Fawaz, and we know how much Marinakis bankrolls the club, but that's not sustainable. So getting into the Premier League, getting that money, you know, it doesn't drop like that, but over time you get up to 200 million quid. Yeah, that is going to make us a stronger football club and have a better chance to keep competing season on season. Yes, the first one might be hard. You know, quite often the second one's hard in the Premier League. Some teams like Sheffield United recently, you know, kind of think they've made it, and it's at the point they think they've made it. I think of someone like Wolves now. They seem to be on the slide, just ever so slightly. And it's when you think you've made it, bang, it goes again. And don't get me wrong, you know, I want to be in the Premier League. I want to have everything that it throws, you know, all that coverage, all that money, or the chance to sign sort of world-class players as well. Listening to Marinakis today, he said he respected Brian Clough, you know, but he said we've got to start rewriting new history. And that's so important, isn't it? We've got to take this thing forward, and if we can't get away anymore if we get relegated and come down again and stay down there for a good few seasons of being this big club. You know, we are a big club. We know we're a big club. Yesterday said we're a big club, but we've got to start proving it. So competing in the Premier League, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean compete to top 4, top 6, even top 10 in the first season. I think I want us to reach for the stars, but just competing and staying in there, you know, keeping all the players we've got, adding one or two. We're already seeing one or two names. I'm sure Dore's going to sort of come onto this at some point, whether it's today or another day, being linked. But again, how exciting is it? Yeah. You know, Morgan Gibbs-White is linked with us.
Seeing that.
Yeah, Gareth Bale.
That's a different show. That's a different show, people.
We don't have to go into his ability and why he should sign, but already being linked, what a player. And then you think, wow, this is what we want. This is why we're football fans. And going back to Dore's original point, of course we want to be in the Premier League. We want to be the best team in the world. Of course. It wouldn't be very realistic, but that's why we support football. We want to win football matches. That's why this season's been amazing. That's why when we lose a game, everybody loses a shit and gets a little bit upset. You know, and we've just got to get into a position where we can be really, really competitive. And if next season it means taking a few spankings, you know, but winning the games we have to, and ensuring sort of Premier League status and being able to move on, that's all we want as Forest fans, isn't it? That's all we want. We want progression, and we're getting promised it. You know, a bit by bit, without restrictions that are placed on you by Football League and this and that, the FFP. We've now got an opportunity. We've got to grasp it with both hands, you know, and really, really enjoy it. Again, going back to Dore's original point about the fan who enjoys the Championship. You know, there's more games in the Championship. There's more games to enjoy, but it's not like going away to Liverpool and winning 1-0. You know, I'm not saying we're going to do that. But imagine that, you know, that's like yesterday, isn't it? That's a memory you take for forever. You know, we've created some of those this season in the way we've done it. But, you know, going away to Man U, getting a win against Man U at home, full house, you know, Ronaldo's playing, Kevin De Bruyne is playing, Haaland's playing. Those are and for myself, again, as a bit of a football purist, those are the things I want to see.
Yes.
The Premier League's got its pitfalls, as we seen yesterday. VAR, they may as well chuck it in the bin, and it will get frustrating because we've seen it already. The Liverpool game, we were cheated. I don't care what anyone says. We're cheating out of it. So it's got its pitfalls and the 4-0s or whatever. If we get spanking, that's going to be its own pitfall. We've got to ride that, get through it, and bloody enjoy the good bits of it.
Sorry, Ben. That's why Lee was 100% right when he said we have to face fact when we play the likes of, you just mentioned 3 players there. We are playing world-class players next year. That's the big difference. And this is not going to be the FA Cup occasion. It's going to be your bread and butter. We could have a run of games of Chelsea, United, Liverpool, and Man City in a row.
It's week in, week out, isn't it, Steve? It's
exactly.
One day occasion, you've got to perform every day. That's the difference. It's not an FA Cup.
This isn't a big day out for everyone else. This is the bread and butter. Yeah.
Before I talk about comment, as I said, if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button. There's 281 people here. I think that's our record of people watching this. So people hit the like button, please. It is much appreciated. Subscribe, people, as well. I'm trying to reach 8K. If I can reach to 8K before the stream finishes, I will do something. And Lee mentioned it about the tattoo. I am getting a tattoo. I am.
And Des.
No.
On the podcast, and you'll see he said he'd get one.
No, you go back and have a look at the podcast, and you'll see me say, not a chance. I said if we win the FA Cup, I knew what I was doing.
Right.
Then go back, have a look.
Go find it.
People in the comments. Can you remember what Des said? Because I do remember a little bit saying
Steve Oldham, Des, and you, Ben, the 4 of us.
Yeah. It don't matter who was there, Steve. I know what I said. Go back and find it. And if you
Des, I know what you're saying, but I think at the time we said, what about if you get promoted? And then I think you kind of went along with it a little bit.
I'll tell you what, if you find the clip, I'll do it.
people.
I have a tattoo.
Right, so people, right. I'm going to honor it. I will get a tattoo of the. I'm getting a forest tattoo and put it on my leg. Yeah. So when I do, I'll show you everyone. Right. Let me just say something before I get on. Shout out to Matilda Marinakis because he just retweeted my vlog on Instagram. So shout out to Matilda Marinakis for sharing my vlog for yesterday's game. So thank you, Matildas. As well, I've got a super chat as well. This is from Spesh. Hi guys, 4 legends together. That 6 minutes was the longest day of my life. The door scream at the end was worth the wait. Listen, it meant a lot to me. Yeah.
Is it just me, or does it annoy you when they don't continue the clock on the screens?
Oh, don't.
Because you want to see the time counting down. It's annoying.
Oh, don't. Right. Also, right. This is a Olympiacos fan. I think I got his name wrong. Matilda Marinakis.
Yeah.
Yes. I apologize. Shout out to Gate 7 International. They're Olympiacos channel as well. I've been on their channels and they do great content as well, man. But yeah, I apologize. Matildas. Shout out to Mr. Marinakis Jr. That's what I'll call him. But yeah, thank you for sharing as well. Matildas.
Stop the door. I'm doing it now. Door struggles to say sorry, so come on, give him a break.
Yeah, listen, I can't say it, man. Matildas. People know I struggle with my words. And as well, I've not missing. Listen, Forest. Well done. Remember what Costa said last time he was on the show. What did Costa say? We'll get promoted. I can't remember. I'll look back on it. I will look back on it. But I'm just looking up for the comments. Sorry. There's going to be lots of questions about the loan players, and I will mention the panel about the loan players as well.
I got a question for everyone as well.
Right, question it. Go on, ask it. Go on, Steve.
Okay, for the 3 of you and for the comments, right? For the 3 teams have gone down, so that's Burnley, Norwich, and Watford. if you could choose one player, cherry pick one player, you could sign from either them 3 teams, who would you sign?
Right, Steve, right, people in the comments. Who would you get the 3 players from each club? Who'd be relegated to come to Forest?
From Watford, if he's still there.
Wait. Lee, you go first. Lee, you go first.
That is it, Pedro, that young player. He was really, really good for them. He was like their standout player when he came to the Championship, and he did well in the Premiership. I think it's Pedro, isn't it?
Yeah.
If he's still there, he's a player I'd take a look at personally. He's only really young. I don't know the other.
I know. So
I would take.
Who's got really Burnley, Watford, and Norwich.
I would take
Watford.
either
from Watford. I'll take. Sorry, Sarr
from Watford. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take him. Burnley.
McNeil. I would take that McNeil. Is it?
Tarkowski. I'll take him.
Oh.
Wait. There's comment, and these are the players the 3 players I was talking about. I want. Where is it?
Oh, Max Aarons. Yes, I would.
Right, these are 3. Where's it gone? Sorry, my comments are going rapid. I'm not used to this. They're going crazy.
No, I like that comment though.
Tarkowski from Burnley. Sorry from Watford. And Matt Aarons. Yeah. No, wait. Because Max Aarons is the right back. We don't know about Spence. We'll talk about Spence maybe today's show, maybe next time's show. I don't know. We'll see how it is. I've got a super shot somewhere. Let's Forest down. Sorry, I missed you at Green Man Ben, but the whole day was super mission. We are Premier League. We are Premier League people. It's just I can't believe it. We are Premier League. It's something that I think I need to go. After this, I'm going straight to bed and wake up and feel. I might give a daily walk in the morning and just think about being in the Premier League. Can't believe it. Let's go back to the game. And I'll ask you, Des. We wasn't great, but we won. We're talking about Davis because, like I said, it since Davis is coming on. I know, like he's had injuries and la, but the same with Lowe. He come back and all around. If that was, I don't know, a different manager, like since Cooper's come in, we play rubbish, but we still win. And we played rubbish yesterday, Des, and we still won. It's never been like that, has it, Des? It's never been like that, has it?
No, it's not. And sort of passion and commitment and belief and wanting to play for somebody takes you a long way, doesn't it? And we've seen from the interviews, we've seen today, Joe Worrell's interview was incredible. The way he praised the manager, and he said he's a nice guy, he's an inspirational leader. All big statements about somebody, and they're all, you saw the way they was all wanting to him, and they just want to play for him. And if you've got people wanting to play for you, and like I say, dedication and commitment and belief, and they want it bad enough, some of the older some of the older viewers might know the Republic of Ireland teams under Jack Charlton, and sort of, they weren't full of ability, but I remember back to those, and they got into World Cup quarterfinals because they just had an amazing team spirit. And I'm not saying that gets you all the way, because there's so much ability in this team as well. But when things aren't quite working for you, when things aren't quite going for you, that, if you're all in it together, we're all the same, aren't we? If our back's up against the wall, sometimes we come out fighting. And in this case, I think it was just a case that some of the guys were injured. That big pitch I mentioned, some of the things were just transpiring against us. From that Bournemouth game, it wasn't perfect, but we showed resilience, didn't we? And that's not something we've never had. We've never had the resilience, even when we've been good. Under Billy Davis, we didn't have enough to get over the line. We couldn't win away under Billy Davis. Under Lamucci, that we was waiting for that sort of blow up, what transpired in the end. And now they've just got somebody who they totally believe in, and they feel they're all together. They've got so much respect for, and they obviously, by having respect, that also comes to listening and being coached and learning from. And we've heard it, haven't we, with the likes of Lewis Grabban saying earlier in the season, he's still learning at 34. You know, that's crazy, isn't it? Because Steve Cooper's only 41 or 42, you know, something like that. And they're still learning from it. Like, they're learning from a guy who's not played to their level. You know, no disrespect to him, but he's not played to their level. But he's good at what he does, and he's good at motivating. And again, you know, I've said this. I said it when we were speaking to Cooper's brother the other day. You know, as somebody who kind of watches him and listens to him and wants to be positive and motivating and inspiring, you know, that's what he is, isn't he? The guy talks and you listen. We've alluded to a couple of times. It's almost like there's almost that reference to Brian Clough as well. You know, in the way he goes about things and the way he does things, without the arrogance, without the flippancy and, you know, rubbing people up the wrong way. He's so clever and understanding of situations. What was really striking to me when we spoke to Neil Cooper the other day, I asked the question, how does he get that? How does it work? And he said he works so much with the players that aren't in the team.
Mm.
And you think if you've got players working hard, I was thinking about this today, if you've got players working hard who are not in the team, if you make them feel like they're pushing the players that are in the team to play even better, then they're doing their job, aren't they, without even stepping foot on the football pitch. And if you've got everybody like that and you've got competition behind you as a first teamer, you know, you've got to perform. You've got to do the business. And you touched on there about Davis. That was a big decision yesterday, wasn't it? You know, in the last DoreOnTour, we spoke, would it be Davis? Would it be Surreal? One or two of us said we think he might plump for Davis, and he did, but he's not scared to make that big decision, is he? You know, he kept Sambo out of the team when it was right to do that. He put him back when it was right to do it. And I think they've got enough respect for the decisions he makes. He's fair. It was fair to Horvath for that period. You know, he's been fair with other players. But ultimately, I think he gets frustrated with Zinkernagel massively. But he keeps picking him. You know, he keeps picking him. He keeps putting him in the team. And that just shows that he's got no grudge, no bitterness, no sort of angst. And when you've got that as a manager, I think you're halfway there, aren't you? Because if you've got your players on side, you can be the best team in the world, and if you're not playing for the manager, you're going to lose. You can be the worst team in the world, and if you're giving it 100%, you've got a chance. Do you see what I mean? So I just think that's the difference. The manager is the massive difference in everything that's going good with this football club right now.
100%. And we talk about, like, I mentioned when I said about the game, it wasn't great, but we won. And in the past, like I said, I've referred to, I think it was under Samuel Lamucci, like, we won't be great. I think after the Derby game, we drew 1-1, and it was horrible. But to have games like coming from, we're not playing great, but we're winning. We're winning games, and like I said, Lee mentioned it about going to the Premier League, and if we lose to the big clubs, it's going to happen. We're not going to go to the Premier League and just fucking bleed every bloody club, are we? We're not. And I want Forest fans to remember, like I said, especially the younger fans. I don't want to disrespect the younger fans. It is a tough league. Championship, Premier League is a different animal to the Championship. And I remember speaking to Kev. It's different. Like, we mentioned Gardner. Like, I think we'll talk about, if we've got time for today, we'll talk about Gardner, if he can stay in the Premier League or not, for Rivers or not. It's going to be different. It's going to be a really hard league, and I don't want to be a yo-yo club like Fulham or Norwich. I don't want to be like that. I want to be in that league because. But this is a question, and I'm putting comments as well. Would you like to be a yo-yo club? Because we need the money to keep, like I mentioned Brendan Johnson, other players as well. Ask you, Stephen. Would you like to be a yo-yo club?
No. We need to. Probably one of the best run clubs in the Premier League is Brighton. We need to model ourselves on that, where they've consolidated. You know, they run their club brilliantly from the academy up. You know, I'm just looking from outside it in. You know, I don't know Brighton that well as such, but I'm just what the media and what they perceive. what you can see, you know, how many seasons they've been in the Premier League now. You know, going on almost a decade now, and that's what we got to be like. Burnley have been found out now, you know, but Burnley never invested. You know, they never caught up with the big boys. You know, they were still spending like £10 million a summer, which will never get you anywhere. But this is the other dilemma we got to throw up, lads. And funny enough, I was talking about it in work today with a few of the lads in work. What do we do? Do we do a Fulham and just throw 150 million at it and see if it sticks? Or do we be big cagey like Norwich and go, okay, we'll just pluck a few, you know, players here and there? It's a massive, and like Des touched on earlier, we got to look at excitement as well. Like first thing I saw last night when I got home, Gareth Bale being linked. It's insane.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been linked. Yeah, we're 20-1 now. There's other clubs.
Ben, we are fifth favourite to sign Gareth Bale.
No, I don't want him.
But, no, I'm just saying that just to read that headline, but it's just setting a marker of, like we mentioned, Gibbs White. Apparently, we're going to throw money at him. I haven't heard any other players linked so far, but these are the kind of money and the players.
It's weird, though. It's
not
weird.
It's about getting the right fit for the club, isn't it? Like we've done with these loan players, for example. They're what's helped carry us forward. We've got an interest now. Now we've got to add to it.
The only thing I'll say about Bale, sorry, Des, before you want to say your point, is with Bale, it could be it might not be Bale, but what they might want is just a superstar to put more eyes on the game, if you get what I mean. Not just like cherry picking a few players. They may just want to say, right, we want that one superstar to stand out, like a Bale, for argument's sake.
Yeah. Which
will just get Forest fans going, oh, now we mean business. Now will make us dribble. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. I'm not saying it could be Bale, but I'm just saying I'm just saying about that kind of headline you're going to read now going this summer, going, wow, we've been linked with him. It's going to blow your mind.
Yeah, the thing is, right, I'm sorry, Des, I'll take it to the end. It's mind-boggling. We got promoted and we've been linked with Bale. We could either get him if we got him to get revenue from money because we know shirt sales and that, or get him to be part of the team. I personally think, I know we brought in Cook, who's an experienced player, but I think we needed that player. For experienced player at the back to play alongside Worrell, McKenna. I know we had Figs and that, but me personally, Bale's a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong, he's a great player. I just don't think he'll fit Cooper. Might be wrong. Anything could happen. We don't know. Like we're in the Premier League. We're in the Premier League, so anything could happen. Des, what was you about to say, Des?
Well, obviously, your initial point was, do you want to be a yo-yo club? And nobody wants to be a yo-yo club, you know,
except Norwich.
Well, yeah, but and then you start talking about money and how we go about it and who we sign and will it be the likes of Bale and that kind of thing. Let's look at it. To be honest, I think Cooper's going to give the current squad a chance. Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to start. Of course, we've got to see with 3, 4, 5 loan players what's going to happen in those positions. I think we're likely to get, in my sort of humble opinion, I don't know anything or I've heard nothing. I think we're going to keep all the loans apart from Garner. Do you know, that's just a feeling I get. I think that's the only one that will be beyond our control. You know, where it's up to Middlesbrough. The rest of it, it's up to Man U. I think the others, we've got a chance. Middlesbrough have said they're going to sell Spence, so we can always put a bid in. So I think there's a possibility of that happening. You know, and Davis, for me, the way he is with the club, I just think he's signed already.
Yeah, okay. Davis and Spence, that's how I feel.
So the only one I think is Garner, who with Man United, they don't need the money. They don't need to sell him as an asset. They want the best for sort of Man United at the end of the day. You know, £10 million or whatever it costs for him to drop in the ocean. I'd love us to go out and sign him. But I think the squad, as it is going to get a chance, especially the players, Brennan Johnson, Worrell, McKenna, all these players, Samba. So what they've got to do is got to highlight the positions where they feel a player's needed. We've already touched on Morgan Gibbs-White. For me, I'm not saying he does the job of two players, but in an ideal world, I think Garner plays more of a number 10.
Yeah.
Which Zinkernagel's been playing. So Morgan Gibbs-White could almost replace those two. Don't get me wrong.
Cooper's a massive fan of Gibbs-White.
Pardon?
Cooper's a massive fan of Gibbs-White.
Exactly, but he can't, because then if you've got Yates and Cole back, or if they go out and sign another more combative midfielder as well, you've got Gibbs-White to almost fill in for both of those. Don't get me wrong, you're going to need squad players and a few more around them. But as an initial signing, Gibbs-White seems to fit the bill. Left back is another, we've just been chatting today with friends about football and stuff. Left back's another one you'd identify straight away.
Yeah.
If Spence isn't there, despite what I just said, right back is a player. So you still might need what I'm saying is you might need 3 or 4 really good, solid signings. And if you're spending a bit of money on them, they might cost 10, 15 million each. I don't think we're going to go and spend 150, 200 million, but I don't think we're going to do a Norwich either, and spend nothing, because I think the way they'll approach it, they'll reward the players. He's not going to get to the Premier League and drop Brennan Johnson when Brennan Johnson could go and move to a dozen Premiership teams, is he? That's the last thing that's going to happen. So I believe the squad will get a chance. There'll be 3 or 4 solid additions. I don't think they'll sign Gareth Bale. I don't think he'll fit in with anything. I don't know. He might do. And if he did sign, no matter what we all say here, I think he's a bit past it now. His mentality as much as anything. But we'd be excited because you'd go, wow, that's a statement. But for me, it's 3 or 4, really, like Leicester did, before, even when they won the league, they didn't go out and spend 50, 60, 70 million on players. They spent 15 to 20, and they got some good ones. Tielemans or that Pereira at right back, those kind of players. That's what you got to find almost to fit into the team, the ethos, and build it around this brilliant young team we've got.
100%. If there's 281 people here, thank you everyone for taking your time and watching. Let's just talk about Forest, and as well, people, we are back in the Premier League. Everyone's excited. I can't believe that we're having this conversation about Bale. I can't believe it. Why are we talking about Bale? Why are we talking? Mind-boggling.
This transfer window, Ben, is going to be something you've never experienced.
Listen to me, right?
It's just these headlines. It's
let
just
me tell you
right.
I don't know if you remember, it was under Lamucci. We brought in, was it 14 or 15 players? And I was doing after every time. My proper viewers will know, like, I used to do like an everyday transfer gossip, as you know. So I might do that again because, like I said, the content needs to come up. I know it's going to be. I think when is it? The fixture list comes out the 16th of June. So I will do a stream for that one to see.
Can we just give it? Ben, sorry, Ben, with the fixtures, can we just give a prediction now? Who's our first game of the season?
Okay, right. We'll do. All right. Okay.
I'm going to say Wolves away.
See, you get too jolly now, Steve. But look at you. You get a bit too jolly. Look at you. People in comments. Who do you want?
No, it's not who do I want? Who I think they will be. Who I want is. Oh, go on, Liverpool away.
I'm thinking Man City away. I think
I think it's going to be Wolves away. I think.
People in comments. Who do you want?
We won't get Man City because don't the champions play the champions?
I don't know.
So Fulham will play Man City. I'm sure there's something.
I thought it was playoff winners.
I don't think it works every season, but I think the top teams, the top 3, play the teams that come up. Of course, it depends on how the fixtures pan out. But there's something like that. I know the champions play the champions. So we won't get Man City. But I'd imagine I'd guess a big team away.
Oh, we will. It's got to be someone big. It will.
People in the comments, who do you want? I'm looking at the comments. Even
Please don't let it be Bournemouth away first game.
oh, don't no, not Bournemouth away. Oh no, I can't, no.
No.
Bad memories for that one. People,
I hope we turn them over next year.
should we play Derby away? What about Derby away? Should we play them?
Who are they?
I want Derby away, people.
What's you guys Milkley?
We might give them a friendly.
You know what? No, to be fair, we might play Derby away next season. The under 23s in the what's that that kid, that cup in League One? What's the cup? Autumn Windshield.
The
Papa John's Trophy or something.
Yeah, we might play you away in Papa John Trophy. We might play you.
Derby have to wait till January to play us in the FA Cup as well, because they'd be playing the FA Cup back in October, isn't it, or November when League One join. Premier League don't join until
Isn't it funny how we can sit back and laugh now after all the pressure? We can
right, I was looking for the comments. Another Kevin Campbell's one. Welcome to the Premier League. May we go round. We're back in the Premier League, baby. Kev, we're back in the Premier.
And who remember? Was it Campbell scored an hat-trick on the first game of the season?
Yes, it was Kevin. We talk about it all the time. Kevin Campbell scoring a hat-trick. City.
I remember watching Match of the Day.
All tap-ins, right? If that was VAR, definitely let goals with allowed, Kev. Right, we look for the comments.
Yeah, we don't want Tom Lawrence.
No.
Oh God, no!
He's been linked with. As I say,
I hope it's only a link.
It's a link. So I don't want to
just say, obviously living in this area as well. Again, the Swansea area. I have heard from multiple sources that we are going to sign Piru from Swansea.
Good player. I like him.
Because he was a Cooper signing before they let him go.
I like him. He's good.
I like him.
He was trained by Van Nistelrooy as well, so he's no mug. So I think I would take him.
He's a good finisher, he is.
Yeah.
Good player. I
That's
think
the strong rumour coming from my neck of the woods.
He's a strong player. I think, like, if he was alongside, I don't know, if we do keep Davis, like Sturridge as well, you can't forget Sturridge as well. And shout out to Sturridge's dad. Sam Sturridge's dad, because he watches this as well. He's under a different name, so I don't know what name he is on here. So, Sturridge Senior, peace and love.
Actually, in the comments for that, that's a good point. Would anyone bring Lascelles back from Newcastle?
He's free to leave, isn't he?
Do we need him with all the centre halves we've got?
Figs is going, no doubt.
Figs is going.
So we'll have to have 4 good centre halves. So it'll be Cook, Worrell, McKenna, and I would bring Lascelles back.
Mbeso, Panzo.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I forgot about them.
I would have bring Lascelles back. I was never a massive fan before he went. I don't think he's mobile enough on the floor. If we get a defender, I think it's going to have to be somebody who can turn quickly. Because what I feel, I don't want to be negative, but if we are going to struggle, it might be against pace.
And there's lots of that in the Premier League.
We're going to need somebody who's really really agile and mobile, And I think Lascelles he's probably bulked. He was that player to some degree.
Yeah.
He was the first of a kind of defender, wasn't he? For Forest anyway, of bringing the ball out, passing. But I think he's bulked out massively in the last few years. And it just becomes another one of what we've got.
He's not that young anymore either, is he?
He's about...
Isn't he 28, 29 now?
Yeah, but think about it, I personally think I like Lascelles. Sorry, Tez, I've got to say it.
I was a Lascelles fan as well. I like Lascelles.
I was a Lascelles fan. And if... I personally think Toby Figueiredo will leave Forest because he was today as well. Tomorrow, me and Des and Lee was at the party today to celebrate Forest winning and get promoted. There was a vlog for it. The vlog will be out tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Interview Forest fans and see how they felt getting promoted. So that'll be out tomorrow as well. Lascelles, I like Lascelles.
I've seen a few comments saying, would anyone take Shelby?
No.
You
know what?
He's a good player.
He would suit a Cooper kind of style, But is this? I don't know. You never know what you
Was
get.
he? Was he at Swansea?
Yeah,
Sorry.
not on the Cooper though.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. He's a good player, but I don't know if he'd fit.
Right, before there's 300 people in. This is the record, people. 300 people watching this live stream. People, hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. As well, subscribe as well. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Do Daily. People, Des doesn't do football content. He does different kind of content. Go and subscribe to Do Daily if you can. The link is below. Go and subscribe to Des. Talk about your channel, Des, so people can subscribe now. Right now. Now.
So basically, what I do is pass over my thoughts. It's a personal vlog, 5-10 minutes every day, just saying how I feel. It's not about football. It's not about winning, or activity. I encourage a bit of exercise and things to make us feel better. For me, exercise works. But like last week, all I was talking about was Wembley and how it was getting my emotions bouncing up and down. I've still got to do today's, so I'm going to
hurry up, Ben. You need to hurry up.
I'm going to be speaking about how I was an emotional mess. But just being honest and relatable, experiencing the things we do. Just watch it. And when people watch it, it's nothing to be scared of. Don't think mental health is going to tell me to do this, this, and this. When people watch it, they go, wow, that's brilliant. Well, some of them do anyway.
Like people, like I said, go on, please subscribe. Subscribe to me as well. Subscribe to Des as well. And Lee's got a working company as well. Lee, promote yours before we talk about football.
What, my kickboxing?
Yeah.
Golden Gloves Kickboxing. We're based in Nottingham, Loughborough. I work with kids, adults. Basically, it gives them something to do off the streets, in leisure centres. And I teach them self-defence and kickboxing, basically. Try and get them involved in something positive. It's open for people to come have a free lesson if they'd like to come along and see how they feel about it. Maybe get fit, bit of exercise, even for the social side of things. We have people from all sort of backgrounds, all walks of life, people with autism, ADHD. I work with a lot of different people, and it's fantastic to see people change, and it's very rewarding in that aspect.
Okay. Like I said, people, if you want to go through Lee, through his Twitter pages, his Twitter handle is there. You can see it. So if you want to do kickboxing, go on, please do it. Message Lee. Just do it. And like I said, make sure everyone subscribes to Do Daily. Get him to Des. What you on, Des? What you on?
545.
545 people. If you can, right, there's 293 people in. Get to Des to 600. If Des right, I'll do a challenge, Des.
Take that one, is it?
If Des gets to 600 by the end of the stream, there's 296 people. Des, you got to do a forfeit. Your choice.
My choice.
But it's got to be nothing, not stupid. Because I would have said tattoo, but I think it's a bit pushing it. So
you are pushing it. You're pushing it.
Get Des kickboxing.
He has to do a run. He has to do a run in a 2-2.
You can get Des kickboxing and film it. We can do that.
If people go subscribe to Do Daily, get him to 600. There's quite a lot of people in here, and just get him to subscribe to Do Daily. Get him to 600 subscribers, please do. Let's get back to the game.
I'll tell you what I'll do if we get to 600. What? And this could really come back to bite me on the arse. I will run to the first Premier League away game.
Oh, Newcastle! Imagine if it's Newcastle.
Exactly.
Oh, what if it's Bournemouth?
And I'll do it for charity. I'm running the London Marathon this year, so I'll do it for charity.
I'll tell you what, Des, I will cycle alongside you.
I will do it.
I'll put my tyres on and I'll cycle with you. You can run, I'll cycle.
But we've got to do it, haven't we? We've got to get there. So what I do as well is through running, my sort of community interest thing is create events and do charity events. So what we'll do is a charity event where I'll run to the first away game if it gets to 600 by the end.
Right, people. Des is on 555 at this moment at a time. Get Des. There's 293 people. all you do is subscribe.
I've had 10 subscribers already.
Right, go subscribe to his channel now.
For God's sake.
I don't know why
Right, I'm getting through comments. I've got a super chat. This is another new Arsenal channel. Big respect to this guy as well. My guy Curtis Shaw. Welcome back to the Premier League, Curtis. I'm coming for you, Curtis. If people remember, I did a previous show before we played Arsenal. I was on Curtis, and Curtis, you're coming back on the channel again. And like I said, big respect for the £5, Curtis. Curtis, we're going to beat you again at the City Ground. So watch out for Curtis. He'll definitely going to be on my channel. And as well, Kevin Campbell's going to be on the channel. We might have like a little battle.
Hey, David Johnson likes to cycle. He's more than welcome to come along and help Des as well. That's fine.
That's fine. But yeah, like I said, shout out to Curtis. Like I said, shout out to Curtis for £5, and Curtis definitely we're gonna link up before whenever we play you lot. I remember, like I said, I was talking to Craig's friend Luke, and there was all people, and I want you to get involved as well. I'll tell the panel. Give me 3 words about Steve Cooper. 3 words in the comments. What do you think about Steve Cooper? Who should I ask first? Ask you, Stephen. 3 words about Steve Cooper.
Or just sum them up in 3 words. Separate words.
Some of them 3 words. People in the comments as well. Join in.
Inspirational. Motivator. And a just a master.
Yeah.
Can't think of many other strong words, to be honest with you.
Lee.
I'm trying to say different ones to Steve because he hits the nail on the head. I'll say honest, magic, and a legend for what he's done, for the way he's turned us around. He deserves those titles. Not leaving much, are we?
Des.
Well, you'll know, Dor, there's some words I use on Do Daily on what I do, and I hang on to every word Cooper says. He inspires me, he motivates me, but I use a couple of words of relatable, realistic, and accountability. Yeah. Because that's that for the first 2 of those. He's a nice guy. He does what he does, but he makes everything accountable. Himself, the players, what they do. And when you've got accountability, you've got something to prove. You've got a result to achieve. You've got a job to do. And I think accountability is a massive part of what he is.
Can I just say as well, I think someone touched on earlier about the players who are not involved. What he did for Lyle Taylor, what I've read today is that he actually dragged Lyle Taylor down there yesterday. And apparently told him, you're a part of it. We give and I think it was Des, you touched on it, wasn't it, about the players who are not involved. Even after the game, the likes of Silva, Bong, they were there just.
I saw some, whether it was on the screen or on the coverage afterwards, I saw Taylor going, right, I can't be part of this. Because
Taylor, Cooper. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. The likes of coming back to what I was saying about Silva, Bong. Yes, they didn't play a large part, but just the celebration after the game, they didn't have to be a part of that.
Even Worrell said he rings them up to check they're all right and get them involved, doesn't he? To make sure he goes out of his way, even when he doesn't have to. It's fantastic.
A quick background thing on Cooper. I was on TalkSport today, and Dean Saunders, obviously from the Welsh connection, was on there. Cooper was his assistant at Wrexham, the coach at Wrexham with Saunders. Cooper then went to Liverpool. So he's worked under Rodgers. He's learned under Rodgers. Cooper then went to England. So he learned under Gareth Southgate. And also he's worked with Pep Guardiola's number 2. And Cooper, Dean Saunders was saying, Cooper's the kind of guy who just constantly asks questions. He's always asking questions about football. Just constantly asking all the time. Demanding information. Just taking it all in. Learning from people like Guardiola's second-hand man, Brendan Rodgers, all these people. Cooper's just all the time just taking all this information in and just feeding out there. The guy is something special. We got to keep him as long as we can. Because I go on record to say I think he's a future either England or Wales manager, and you never know. He could even be a future, like he could be a Liverpool manager. You just don't know how far he could go. You just don't know how far he could go. It's something special about it.
Doesn't hoping for Leicester away first game.
Do you know Leicester is the nearest, and that is a marathon away.
Wow.
Oh, so people, if we get Leicester,
It could be more, mate.
well, I'm just looking for the comments. I just mentioned 3 words of Steve Cooper. Jake says really, really good. David says simply the best. Simon says Cooper is magic. Keenan says inspiration, breathtaking, and genius. Alberto's legend, my guy, one of us. He is. And it was funny. And Des spotted this. He was in the crowd. He was with his son, and he pointed right at me. Like I was like, everyone's pointing at me. He's pointing at me. I was like, what? I'm like, mad, because it's too much of this as well. So shout out to Steve Cooper's son. Shout out to Steve Cooper as well.
Yeah,
just been a legend, absolutely a legend.
Did you see the cardboard cutout someone had of Cooper?
I didn't see that.
They dragged it from the crowd. You must have seen it, Ben. The players had the cardboard cutout with Cooper.
Yeah, they went and laid down with it, didn't they?
Yeah, but
yes.
Have you seen the new video? Have you seen the new video leaked? So they're interviewing Cooper. Spence runs behind with the cardboard cutout, and he's like, ah. So he runs off. He drops on the floor. Garner picks it up off the floor, and Garner just goes to that. Like pretends punches it. Then Cooper. It's just this cardboard cutout someone's done of him, like with a fist pump. Yeah, it's on Sky Sports.
Oh, legend! It's funny. Like, look what Steve Cooper's done to us. Like, he's got us like this. Like I said, and it's documented. Like I said, the first 7 games. It was just. I don't want to talk about it, but it's got to be.
Depression to ecstasy. That's all I'm going to say.
I've got to talk about it, and people in the comments. I am going to talk about it. This is what my channel's about. Everyone was in a low place, and if no one saw my trailer before the final, go and see that. Like, it was something that it was depressing and all that. But people in the comments, how did you feel? How did you feel the first 7 games? In 3 words. In 3 words, how did you feel? And I'll look for the comments. Des, how did you feel with the first 7 games?
Just felt awful, didn't it? You know, it was getting to a point where it wasn't just getting to a point. It was a hard watch, wasn't it? It was really hard, and again, I think the fact that we started going to games and we formed this new little group and got to know each other, it added so much to it and got us through that absolute dross, you know, because it was dreadful, and we were finding a way to enjoy it, because that's what we do, don't we? We've got it running through us, but it's hard. It's hard to be positive, you know. It's hard to make any sense of why you invest all that time, effort, money, all those things into it, and it was just really, really discouraging, you know, seeing where the thought of going back to League One, because that's the only place we were going.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking exactly the same, Des. I was speaking to another fan after the game, because we were both emotional, was hugging each other, and he said to me, "Dore, I was planning League One. And I think I said to him, I was, mate, as well."
Dore, I watched we went to I didn't see Huddersfield away game, so I thought that was a bit of a flash in the pan, because I saw the Millwall game, we didn't look great, although I gave it we got a draw. It was Cooper's first game, but I was just going on what I'd seen before. I wasn't questioning Cooper. And then we played Barnsley, and we were dreadful for 60 minutes. Absolutely dreadful. And then I think Martin and Graben came on, I know Graben definitely did. Mine arm. Graben came on and changed the game. And from that moment, within about 3 or 4 games, I did a prediction. Another one I missed. I did a prediction for you at Birmingham. And I said, we'll win this game 3-0. It took 3 or 4 games. And again, I've said this in the last 24 hours. As soon as that guy stepped through the door, we knew something special was happening. We knew something different was happening. For me, it was that 60-minute point at Barnsley. We come out of there absolutely buzzing. You know, we drew a lot of games to start with, but we knew what was building. And once it clicked, like it did sort of 4 or 5 weeks ago, you know, anything could happen. It was just, it just needed that positive influence around the place. You know, stop. We all complained before Cooper come in that we thought we might be getting the same thing. We was being convinced by Swansea fans we were getting negative and dull and somebody who wants to argue with everybody and that kind of manager. And he's been far from it. You know, I don't know whether that's happened at other clubs and he's learnt his lesson, but he's learnt it very quickly and very sharp if he has, because as soon as he stepped in after those 7 games, different story.
Des, it's like when we lost to Fulham 4-0 at home. You didn't leave that game thinking we were rubbish, we was in trouble. We got hammered because we were rubbish. It was like you could still see the positives from it, and you could still see something was happening, even despite a 4-0 drubbing. It was such a weird, surreal day.
Lee, I mention it every time I'm on DoreOnTour. Yeah. That was the game that convinced me we were getting the playoffs.
Yeah.
And ever since that day, I was adamant that that's what we were doing. From that day, we was getting in the playoffs. Before, I was saying, oh, we might finish 9th or 10th.
What game was that? Sorry, Des?
The Fulham.
All right. The game I thought that turned the season was Bristol City away. I think that Bristol City game away when we went 2-1 in injury time, I think that showed character, that showed spirit, that showed something special was going on. I thought that was a turning point. I thought.
People comments.
Just going back to that Stoke game and that 7 game and the last time we went away before he got sacked. It never looked like we were going to score. Never, ever looked like we was going to score. Yeah. And straight away under Cooper, from the Barnsley game, even though some of the performances weren't fantastic early on, you felt like you had a chance. So Bristol was always an option, an opportunity. QPR, we didn't play well in the second half there away, but it always felt like we could score.
Yeah.
What did it feel like under Chris Hughton? Like we'd never score. So just knowing you've got an opportunity to score a goal, that made the difference. Because if we believe it as fans, the hardest people to convince, the people he works with day in, day out, the players, they're going to believe it, aren't they? If we believe we could, and they're the ones doing it. They're the ones. So every time they stick one in the 90th minute, Jack Colback or Lyle Taylor or whoever, it's like, right, we're losing. It's not the end of the world. Under Houghton, 1-0 down, game over.
100%. I remember the culture game as well. I think I was at you, Stephen, and was 1-0 up and deserved 1-0 up in the first half. I think it was good. And then I remember it was who got injured. What centre back got injured? Was it So?
Ember So went off. Yeah.
So got injured, and second half we were shocking.
Just shot and just tried to defend it, didn't he?
Trying to defend a 1-0 night. First game season, and Coventry with that. I know it was the first game season, but they was good at home. And when they got 1-1, that time I think we're going to lose this.
Yeah,
we're going to lose this.
And that was the first game of the season.
First game of the season. Yeah. What done me? Like I said, I'm going to put a comment as well, and I think Des alluded into it about what game did you thought that we can get to the Premier League and we are in the Premier League. But what game did you think? Yes, this is far as the season. The game that sticks out for me was a Jack. I don't know. We mentioned Jack Colback scored against QPR. We drew 1-1. That game stood out for me. I think so. if we could do that against QPR were playing good that time as well. If I do remember, that was a game. I thought, yeah, we can get promoted, and it's happened. And now we can look back on it like the first 7 games, we were shocking. Cooper's come in, and like I said about the Barnsley game as well, we wasn't great. Was with Des for 60 minutes. Des, what was it? Des, was it? Figs who came off. Figs came off. Grabbing, come on, I think.
I think he took Figs off. I can't remember exactly who went off, but it was something like it was a tactical change.
Lolly came on, didn't he?
Yeah, Lolly came
on.
on.
Wait, yeah. The first sub, Grabbing, come on. No, Figs come off.
Yeah.
Grabbing, come on.
But what that showed us as well was when a manager who could think about the game situation. You know, think about what was happening around him, and again with the other manager, you know, we didn't have that, did we? So we've got a guy who was, and for as nice as people say Kushutin was, and he probably is, he was stubborn. You know, he kept saying we had no options, no strikers, we didn't have attacking players.
Yeah.
And then you've got a manager come in, and let's not forget, in all of this, all the things we say about Steve Cooper as a person, as a man manager, as a motivator, you know, and I'm reluctant to sort of single anyone out in a negative way, but he still had players that he had to play out of necessity. You know, he had to play Bong, you know, at West Brom, and we got a clean sheet. Do you know, that guy at that point, you know, he'd finished, you know, and it's proven now he's finished. You know,
Des, you look Bong. Des, you remember what game was it? Swansea away. You look like people. Don't let Des fool you. He likes Bong. Remember that chant Des did.
Well, how shit must you be? You've even got Bong or something like that. And Paul, the point is, Cooper for a dozen games had to play players that he obviously wasn't comfortable picking. You know, he's proven with Bong because Colback's gone over to left back. You know, and I'm sure he wants Colback in the middle at times because he was one of the first names on the team sheet. So for all of that, this guy's got a bit of nous about football as well. You know, changing it, mixing it. The Barnsley game we both touched on, is the classic example, isn't it? It wasn't going right. There was times when you were playing 4-4-2, not 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1 or whatever it is, or a variation of that. 4 at the back at least.
Yeah, 4 at the back.
And I felt like I think people were saying that was his preferred formation, but eventually, you know, he come away from that again because I thought at the time the better one was with the 3 at the back and the way we worked down the flanks. And look how he moulded the team once he got the players he wanted. All of that 4 at the back's gone out the window once he'd had opportunity to work on the team. You know, his own players, Cook was in. Cook was probably integral to all of that because you could have Worrell out there, McKenna out there, making up as fullbacks and pushing the fullbacks on. And that's where he really, really changed things up, isn't it?
Looking through the comments, I think there's one that stood out. I loved it away. I was looking for the games as well. Pushed it away with me. Tesco 2, 91-92. That was the one that kept me really hopes. What game was yours, Lee? That's like you thought, yeah, Forest can do it.
Well, obviously it was over a number of games, wasn't it? I saw things like you say at Fulham. But one of the games that stood out to me, that one of my favourite games, I'll say, is the Leicester game. We played brilliant against Arsenal. Then that Leicester game, it was unreal, the confidence that was flowing through us. And you just thought at that point, anyone we face, we can beat them. It doesn't matter who it is. And even to an extent when we played Liverpool, the feeling was the same and we were unlucky in that game. You know, and it's just a build-up of games, wasn't it? And even when we did lose, we knew we could bounce back or went a goal behind. You just knew we had something in the team that we could turn it around, you know? So it's just...
What's scary though, right? With the consistency Cooper had since he came in, right? We could probably count on one hand since he came in to now how many games you've come out and gone, oh, that was bad. It's scary, the consistency. Like, even when we weren't playing great, we had a result. The only poor games we probably had was Borough away. We were poor then. Huddersfield, when we lost home to them, we battered them, and we should never lost that.
Yeah.
Cardiff away, we were bad when we were Ben. We were bad against Cardiff away.
We were bad. Yeah, we were bad.
We were bad.
We all have off games, though, don't we? Every team has an off.
But that's the thing, Lee. You could probably count on one hand, and that's the consistency Cooper had, and real consistency where we was always in the game, bar the 1 or 2 game.
He doesn't dwell on it, though, Steve, does he? He doesn't dwell on the negativity.
Exactly.
He just moves on, says, right, brush that aside, we lost, fair play.
You know, we
might
lost
not deserve it, but we did. We move on.
We had a poor Christmas. We had the Borough and Huddersfield game, but then we bounced back and beat Arsenal in the Cup, and that's what springboarded us in for another run of games. Then we did lose to Cardiff, but then we hammered Leicester in the following week in the Cup.
Yeah,
you know, we always backed it up. We never just we didn't go on a bad run. That's the thing, and that's what's scary about it. That's why this guy get the trophy back off Nathan Jones and give it to Cooper. Because
saying Nathan Jones, I'm sure I saw a comment earlier said Des looks like Nathan Jones.
You know, yeah, I forgot that. You know what? I saw that comment.
I'm sure I read that earlier.
I did. Oh, that's what I was trying to find. I couldn't find it.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that was it. I was trying to find it.
A poor man's Nathan Jones or something along those lines.
I saw the comment.
He looks a bit like the Huddersfield manager.
The comments were going so fast. I'm thinking, where's it gone? Put a comment. Right, before I get on, Des, this was definitely Des. When you went to toilet, Des, did you put a DoreOnTour sticker on St. Pancras toilet?
None of our business. None of
That
my
you, Des?
business.
That's you, what it does.
Not my problem.
Shout out to Robin. I think that was Des. It's definitely you, Des, because Des was the only one with toilet. So you've cheered someone up, Des. You've cheered someone up.
Do you know this Nathan Jones thing? Is this because I've got a gilet on?
Yeah.
Is that the only resemblance to Nathan Jones?
No, so it's been called Des Warnock. Now it's being called Des Jones.
What about Nathan Jones? So much for Manager of the Year, eh?
Unbelievable.
Right,
we've had bloody hell, 140 hour 48 minutes. It's unbelievable. We'll make it.
Can I just give a shout out to my boy McKenna? What a performance yesterday.
Yes.
Man,
McKenna was absolutely outstanding. What a Colossus in the back. He just swept up everything. The guy stood out yesterday. And Garner as well. Garner played well, but McKenna, wow. I'm a proper fanboy of him anyway, but yesterday, yeah.
You know what? I made this last one. People in the comments, who was your player of the season? Who was your player? And I will go for the panel. One. I know everyone's been fantastic. Everyone. I deserve a pat on the back. But you've got to pick one player. Not two. One. I know it's going to be difficult.
Oh.
One. And I think I know, Stephen. Yours McKenna, right, Steve?
I love him. I love McKenna, for me. Mr. Consistency. Right. Absolute rock. Best signing we've had in years. Yeah, McKenna for me.
Okay, so people comment, who is your player of the season? Lee. Player of the season. Just pick one, Lee. Just one.
Give me long enough to think. I'm going to go with Brennan Johnson. Although I agree with Steve, there's so many you could choose. I could choose McKenna because he's fantastic. Yates has totally changed my perspective on him. I just think Brennan Johnson, his first, don't get me wrong, everyone has a few off games or they're in and out of games, but it's just first season in there. Without his goals and his assists, we wouldn't be where we are for the majority of it. And that's facts. Goals win games. and that's it. So for me, for a young lad of his age to take the responsibility that he has on his shoulders at times, he was carrying us, wasn't it? So for me, I'm going to give it Brendan.
Yeah. Des? Just one, Des. Just one. I know Des is going to be about 11 players.
No, do you know what? Let me just explain. Now, we'll narrow it down to one. But the best player at Forest is Brendan Johnson. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Like, for the reasons Lee said, you know, he's a match winner. That's what you pay the big bucks for. Genuine match winners. You know, he's involved in all the goals. You know, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Almost every single goal he's involved in. And for me, most weeks he's man of the match. But I'm just going to sort of throw someone in there because as player of the season, just over the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks, Jack Colback. Jack Colback has been the player of the season. Because again, he started the season, he weren't nowhere near the team. He wasn't even in the team. And he's come in and he's been so integral. I think back to that Fulham game, it was when he went off that Forest capitulated and he got subbed because he got a booking and then a final warning. And then where he would have been on the pitch, they utilised it. But over this last period, I don't think I've seen a better left back at Forest for about 10 years.
For a while. Yeah.
You know, and that's a left back. That's not even his position. He was absolutely bossing it in midfield. And I've always been a fan and thought he should be in and around the team. But I got to the point where, like everybody else, I thought, is his time past? But he's absolutely brilliant, isn't he? Nobody gets past him. You know, we talk about not getting past McKenna. You know, McKenna wins absolutely everything in the air. Yeah. If there's anything coming down that left-hand side, Colback just gets a foot in. You know, and then he's laying it back to McKenna or he's looking for Davis or somebody like that. I just think he's been brilliant. And the way he's been utilised. But again, there's so many in there. You know, my first thought was Ryan Yates as well. You know, most improved player. Definitely Ryan Yates.
Yeah, 100%.
I've done a poll on Twitter. I put 4 players as well. I should have put another one, but I put Johnson, Yates, McKenna, and Sambo. That's the 4 players I've done. That if it's not, then put in comments who do you think is player of the season.
What about Spence?
See,
I mean,
you see what I mean? It's hard.
You wish you could have 11, couldn't you, or 12, like.
Look what Steve Cook has done in the 5 months he's been with us.
This is why I had to know
you could name them all, couldn't you? Yates,
Garner's probably been. Garner, look what he was. You know, Garner was probably the best player.
Pick one, and I'm glad I never have to really do that. Someone else has to do it.
Point on Garner, though, I watched the Fulham one because I was looking back. I watched it the other day. I was looking at the point where I said we'd get 4th. I was trying to find it to clip it. Playoffs, after that beating. But I watched it back and we was talking about Garner going back to Man United.
Yeah, we was.
I was saying, and I'll admit it, I wasn't saying he was rubbish. I was saying he'd lost confidence. And he'd lost his confidence and he stopped doing the basics and the ball was like a hot potato. And we were saying, is it time for him to go back now and let him go? And I was saying, yeah. You know,
I think that was coming towards January, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden, around after Christmas, didn't it?
No, that wasn't
it? It was November.
It was just before that. It was. I remember the Bristol City game was 1-0 down, and it wasn't good there. We was in the game, but I remember the first half. I said he needs to go off. He needs to go off because he wasn't great.
I remember the Barnsley game, he was particularly poor as well.
He was poor. And I said to him earlier on, when we poor, we wasn't great yesterday, but we won. Yeah. We won.
But you know, though, I mentioned like when we were talking about Morgan Gibbs-White and the possibility of losing Zinchenko and Garner and saying about that number 10, when Garner's played that number 10, the Blackburn game, I think of, and in that period when we was red hot, him and Davis, the link up between him and Davis was phenomenal. You know, and I thought at that period was our best part of the season. So Garner at 10, and he hasn't had an opportunity to play there, but he's still been brilliant. You know, but he hasn't played there for so long because of injuries to, left back, basically, because Colback's come out in the middle and he's gone over there. There was that point when Blackburn game, Zinchenko didn't start. And Garner was brilliant in that role, but he's also been brilliant in the role behind that as well. You know, he's just been absolutely fantastic. So he's come such a long way. And again, somebody like who's really turned it around. We talk about Yates and people like that, Figueiredo, but there's another guy who's just flourished under Cooper.
So many players. There's so many players that we can. That's why I said one player, but.
And do you know what, right? Someone said in the comments about the American keeper, Horvath, the little runner game, you know, Preston away. We weren't great against Preston away. We were quite bad, actually, like really windy conditions. He was our man of the match. He dominated that game. You know, he dominated his box. He was really good in that game. You know, everyone's played a part, like Figs in that run of games when Cook was injured. Everyone has stepped up to the plate, you know, and that you can't. And what's good since Cooper's come in, it's harsh to pick out anyone who's had a bad season. You know,
it happened. No one's had a bad season. And this is the problem. Like, it was funny, right? And I had an idea. Like, I'm about to do a list of who's been good, who's been bad. No one's been bad.
You know, the one player I feel sorry for the most is Mighton.
Yes.
I think he got injured, and I think because Cooper knows him as well, I think that he's the only player I think hasn't reached his potential, only because he got injured. I think he felt as well he wasn't going to get a run of games with how well we were playing and the players in front of him. And Lolly came, and again we haven't touched on Lolly. You know, he came back and he looked sharp, and you know, again, you can't just cherry pick someone and go, yeah, they were.
For me, Mason needs a loan, Steve. For me, he needs a loan. I think next season.
I think Mighton will go. Yeah,
get him going.
I think Mighton will be going alone. I think.
Play him every game.
Yeah, right. Another legend, another cult hero, if you want to call him, is Cafu. I mean,
don't mention Cafu to Daz.
What, the sheriff?
Yeah, the thing with Cafu though, right? He's a player you need at every club, right? Even though we don't get playing, you could see in the dressing room, right? He's one of them characters you just need, even if he doesn't play. You know, I knew he'd be one of the first ones to celebrate yesterday with that cup. You know, running around the pitch on Saturday, running around the pitch. You know, it's just everyone's had a good season. That's just, which is great to see. You know, everyone's played a part. Even the backroom staff. We haven't touched on the backroom staff. Stephen Reid, Alan Tate.
Right. Let me mention about Stephen Reid. He was not. I don't know. I think there was something happening between him and Chris Hilton. And like I said, I think we've all for his fans. We witnessed how shocking it was. I think when Reid come in, Reid wants to stay and just prove a point that the players that we have, they are good. They're just going to be dealt with right, like Cooper's done. And the game against Huddersfield, we beat him 2-0. And I remember, who was it? Lee Tilson said we'll lose 4-0 to Huddersfield. And like I said, you've got to give praise to Steve Reid, because he's the man. Let's be real. He's the man that got Forest to start with a bang. And shout out to Steve Reid for making it happen. And Steve Cooper's got the rest. And now we're in the Premier League. It's weird the way it's weird to say that. It's not weird because, like I said, the new people who are subscribed to this channel, and if there's still new people here, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Des as well. Watch the first 7 podcasters. And you'll fully understand how angry he was. And or watch the Stoke game, the Stoke podcast. I remember Des wasn't happy. I wasn't happy.
You called me Mr. Negative, Dor. So many times. I used to tell you I'm not negative. It's you, the bet.
I called Lee. Lee put Mr. Negative on. I used to call Lee every single time.
Yeah, every
Mr.
day.
Negative. Every day.
I was
He's just-
depressed, that's all.
Allow Lee. I see it live on stream. I apologize.
Listen, I take it on the chin door because I knew what it was. I knew I wasn't the problem. I knew it
You are
was
the problem. Lee is the
certain
problem.
ex-manager.
He's still a problem. But yeah, like I said, people, like I said, the people, all subscribers will know how it was awful to watch. It wasn't great. Poor football. Like, especially social media, it was toxic. And I said to her, I was going after the game. Some guy used to always come for me on social media, and after the game, he said to me, "Mr. Door, I apologize for what I said to you." And I said to him, "Listen, we're happy. We're back in the Premier League." But I said to him, "If we lose, if when we get in the Premier League and we start losing games, I hope you're not going to go for me again, because that's how the word fickle, because it is mad. Well, you like me, you might like Lee, you might like Des, you might like Stephen. Then 2 weeks later, either bell end or whatever. But that's being nice. It's just weird how people treat everyone these days. But it was mad how the guy.
You can't always agree on on what everyone says. You're going to have your own opinion. You're going to agree to disagree. It's okay to disagree. It doesn't make someone a bellend. You know what I mean? You're going to have your own opinion. People watching this will probably disagree with me or with Steve or at some point.
Yeah.
They're not bellends. I'm not a bellend. Well, I can be a bellend, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, no. You can be a bellend all the time. But yeah, but like I said, people, like I said, it's all right. Like I said, yesterday was just amazing. And
so I said Saturday earlier, didn't I? I meant yesterday. That's what I mean. It just feels like a blur.
It's a blur. Like it just
like 24 hours ago.
It doesn't seem real.
But coming back to what saying, Lee was saying just now, is opinion and there's fact. Now the fact was we were shite at the beginning of the season. The opinions were we were shite, and we were shite. There's opinions and there's fact. The fact is now we're back in the Premier League. Our opinions are we deserve to be there. That's it.
At the end of the day, we all want the same thing, don't we? Let's be honest. And that's what it's about. We all want
the same thing. On the balance of it, right? On the balance of it, right? Bournemouth and Fulham went up, okay, first and second. But if we hadn't gone up, I think it was now or never. That's my honest opinion.
I felt we had to go up.
We had to go up
for the club, for the stability of the club. I felt we needed the money. I didn't want a certain place, and we had to go up. And I think that was my relief when the whistle blew.
One of my mates texted me weeks ago, and he said, "If we don't go up, who do you think will go?" He's not a Forest fan. He just asked me, and I said, "Look, if we don't go up, our team is ripped apart." Worrell, Johnson, I think Samba may have gone from his heroics in the semi-final. Just exposure, he may have gone. Garner would have gone back. We wouldn't have kept Spence. Just think of the squad we could have had next season.
Starting again.
Yeah, it would have been.
That's another thing, isn't it? Earlier when we was on about winning yesterday and not playing well, those players were playing for the futures as well, weren't they? And if they wanted to be at Forest, they've shed tears over it as well.
Yeah.
Not just us. If they want to be at Forest or wanted to stay at Forest, they had to do the business as well, didn't they? So again, add all that into the mix, that commitment and desire. And as fans, there's a lot. You said it, Dor, and there's a lot of people saying we're fickle because of this, that, and the other. There's extenuating circumstances in all of that, because when we see a team with commitment and desire and showing what they've shown us over the season, yesterday and today in the Market Square, loving life at Forest, that's all we want. Because we're not the best team in the world, as much as we sing we're the greatest team. We're not. We know we're not. But when they've got that commitment and desire, of course our opinions change. opinions are going to change because that's what we want to see.
That's what we
You're not
want
going
see.
to look for negative when you're doing the business. When you're not doing the business, you're going to look for a reason to try and put it right, aren't you?
Before I said that, someone sent me a message and a picture of myself after the game. Some like a Forest fan came up to me and just had a picture of me, like he just haven't thought. And this is how I felt. If no one can see, that's how I felt. No one can see it.
Yeah, that's it.
That little embrace, what you touched on at the start, which nearly got me going again, made the people around us cry, didn't it?
Yeah. It made, like I said, it was. I saw Des. I was phoning Des. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you, Des? And I seen Des. And when I gave him a hug, everyone was crying. Everyone was crying. And as well, I want to shout out to Michaela as well. She was saying she was hugging, she was crying, and she said to me, "Ben, Des is worse than me." Des was worse than me. I was like, "What?" Like,
I'm telling you now. You tried to hide, but you could see it. Face gives away a lot.
Exactly, and that's it. Yeah, it was funny. Like, I was hugging everyone, and it's good. Like, and I want, like, I said it on my vlog. If you know some of my vlog, make sure you watch it. People come up to me, and the love I've had on my channel from the start of the season to now, it's all changed, and I want my channel to grow. But people need to remember, I'm doing this for fun. I talked with Lee, Des, Stephen, and everyone else who's been on my channel. We're here for fun, and I've interacted with so many people who I don't know. We come on the street, like today. What I nearly cried today. This guy came up to me and said to me, "My dad is 79 years old. He watches my vlogs every time I put a vlog on Sunday at 10 o'clock." That got to me big time. And to hear that, and he said to me, "Dore, you're a legend in his eyes. He's not going to meet you because he's of his personal health and that." But he said to Ben, "Dore, he watches you consistent Sunday or whatever your content comes out. So if you're watching now, to the guy, I forgot who his name was, thank you very much, because the love I get, like I said, people go up to Lee, people go up to Stephen, people go up to Des. Too many people go up to Des. I'm sick of it.
Can I just give you some feedback, Ben?
Yeah.
I had on Saturday. So when I got on the train in Beaconsfield, I jumped on the train. Obviously, Forest fans got on, and these bunch of lads. One of them was from Somerset, and he said to me, "Are you the Welsh guy off DoreOnTour?" And I said, "Yeah." I felt like a mini celebrity. I was just a bit like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, "Yeah." And he actually said to me, he goes, "Do you know what?" He said, "I'm a bit disappointed when Ben delays his vlogs," because he said he, after every game he goes home or whenever you release your vlog, he waits for it. And he sits down, he puts his feet up, and he just sits back and enjoys it. And you know what? Hearing that kind of feedback, it must be humbling for you. You actually bring pleasure to, this might sound cheesy to some people, but it is. I sit around now with my family. We watch your vlogs. My wife, my daughter, my son. My son refers to as Ben now. He knows.
Good.
He's good. It must be flattering, mate. You've built this network.
Oh,
and I got people see me in the street on yesterday going, "Are you the Welsh?" Again, around the stadium, like, "Are you the Welsh guy off DoreOnTour?" I'm like, yeah, I'm just like Steve, like, that's all I am. I feel like my head's gonna get big anymore, you know what I mean? But that's like Lee with his megaphone and Des with his Do Daily. It's just building that network, and it goes back to what Lee was saying earlier. It's one big family, and what I saw from my bird's eye view yesterday is just one massive family. We're all in this together, as a big Forest family, and that's what Cooper's built. 100%. And this is nothing against the Norwiches and West Broms, and nothing against the fans, but we have had no Premiership football for 23 years, and their fans been spoilt, and they probably take it for granted. But yesterday was that pure. We were just living off pure emotion yesterday. 23 years is build up, and that's why we all cried. That's why we showed emotion. And
We're a special club, Steve. We are a
We are.
special club, special fans.
I-
100%.
And that's, you know what, bang on. And this is what I want to mention. Like when you mentioned being a professional club, and I think I talked about it about teams like, I cannot wait to play against these teams like Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. I've seen. I don't know if any football fans see it. I remember a Liverpool fan talking about. It was outside the ground. It's on YouTube somewhere. Said about. It's like a tourist club now. People just want to go for the
day out.
day out.
The kudos.
Just
People want to, and with Forest, like I said, what I do, like I do what I do, and some people love it, people hate it, and that's fine. I can take it. And I remember, like I said, when we was losing games, people will tag me and not Forest. Of what I'm now, we're back in the Premier League. Where's the people that who hated me? And I mentioned to the guy after the game, and he was deeply sorry. He was a man as well. He wasn't a boy. He was a man, and he came up to me and said, "I'm sincerely sorry for where I spoke to you, blah blah." And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's all good. We're back in the Premier League, and that's how it is. And we're back in the Premier League, and it's all good. I'm not saying the people that dislike me be my friend, because I'm, like I said, if you watch my channel, watch him. If you don't like me, if you don't like my watch me, don't follow me on Twitter, social media, don't watch my YouTube channel, just don't watch it. Simple as that. I'm not forcing you to watch my channel. So, but all the lovely people, that the 230 people, hear me, hear Lee, hear Stephen, hear Des, talk about Forest. Just talk about, I don't take it seriously. I've got no pen. I've got no pen to write. It's just coming out what I'm saying, and this is what people like about it. And I say about my heart. Thank you everyone that has tuned in for watching my content through my vlogs, through my previous review shows, whatever. And like I said, people who subscribe to Do Daily as well. Like I said, I want Des to grow his channel as well. People like Lee does his work as well. People just, like I said, I like to promote people, and this is what my channel's about. Help other people out. People help me, and that's why I appreciate everyone that who take time. They don't have to come and talk about football, and that's what I really mean that as well. But now we're in the Premier League. This is what we're talking about. We're back in the Premier League, people, and just it's just, I keep saying it. I need to stop saying it now. It's mad. I'll stop there because I'll go crazy now. Last but not least, like I said, we're back in the Premier League again. As I keep saying it, Lee, are you looking forward to it? I go through people in the comments as well. Are you looking forward to the Premier League?
Do I need to answer that? 23 years of watching dire Championship football. It was depressing. Now, even if we get beat, I can look forward to seeing some actual quality football. I know we've been beat because more than likely it's fantastic football that we've lost to, and just to get to watch it. And to be fair, I think we'll do all right next season. I do. I think we've got a nucleus of a team, and if we can add a bit more quality to it, I think we'll hold our own. We are going to lose games. We're not going to win everyone, but I think it'll be nice to see. It'll be a nice watch, rather than the abysmal stuff we've seen over the years. That's my take on it.
Stephen, are you looking forward to back in the big time?
I remember back in the 98, 99 season. It was depressing watching match of the day every week, but it was still fun, if that makes sense, because we were playing the big boys. But it's just a different era now. This is a new start. It's going to be fun, like Des said earlier, just to find little details like match of the day. Just being exposed on Monday Night Football with Neville and Carragher talking about us. Just Super Sunday. The whole build up of that. The exposure we will have. And I think I've told everyone this. I told people after the game. I've told everyone it will not sink in until that fixture list comes out. When you see that fixture list, right, and you see the first game of the season, and you could have a run of games, like I said, it could easily be Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United. right? And that's the way it's going to be. And the other thing is, it won't sink in as well until you start seeing the players we're going to be linked with and the money, the kind of money that's going to be linked with. And already we've seen like Gibbs White, £20 million up front. That's what excites me. This is, like Lee said, forget about the Championship now, League One. Forget about it. Move on. This is a new start. It's a new era. Excitement, playing the big boys, go into these big clubs.
Des, like, we're back in Premier League, Des. Like, I know Des is looking forward to it. It looks like smirks and all.
Well, I'm looking forward to it a bit more now because I only got to 5, 6, 8. So,
people, 235. Go and subscribe to Do Daily. The link is below. Go and subscribe to them.
If it don't get to 600, if it gets to 1,000 before the fixtures come out, I will run to the first away game and create a charity event for it.
Oh, people, please go and subscribe to Do Daily. Please go and subscribe to Do Daily if you can. Like, the link is below.
But in terms of the question, Dore, absolutely. I started by saying this. I saw 23 years of my own personal life flash before me yesterday. That was what it was all about. I've said it a few times. It, quite calm and calculated, but I lost my shit with it because it was so important yesterday. And just to see us at these big clubs, Steve just said there, just Gary Neville and Carragher talking about us for as annoying as they are. We want to hear it. We want to be referred to. We all love it when we get a mention here and there. And of course, bigger games, possibilities of getting further in cup competitions and chances to get to semi-finals and potentially finals. And even, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but pushing up the league as time goes on and improving. That's all we want, isn't it? All that exposure is amazing. And hopefully the club, I know they will. The club will embrace it and we can just take it. And just going, I say it a lot, but just going back to what you were saying before about channel and the haters and this and that. I experience a little bit the same. And it's hard sometimes to do what we do because you think, wow, people hate me, people do this. The reality is we do it because we love it. And what you do is amazing. We wouldn't have crossed in any other walk of life. We crossed because we did YouTube channels and we both support Forest. Yeah. And what Dore does is absolutely amazing. He's brought a community together, like nothing else. I've been around football for 30 years. I've had a season ticket for 30 years. And I've never been sort of taken in and embraced. And the support I get from this guy is incredible as well. He's helping me get into something that I've never experienced. So forget 8,000, get him to 10,000 before them fixtures come out.
Yeah, please do if you can.
This thing and get part of this thing because he is going to explode in the Premier League along with the team.
Like I said, people, if it's really one, please do hit the subscribe button as well. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to Do Daily as well. Like I said, I want Des to do well. I want him to get 600 before the stream does. Like I said, the link is below. Go and subscribe. Like I said, we enjoy what we do. I enjoy what I do. I saw some nice comments. I'm going to go through the nice comments as well. Where's the one I've seen? Where's it gone? I saw a really nice one. This is from Owen. Never watched YouTube, but must admit, enjoy watching Dore. Content has been great and just added to the best season experience following Nottingham Forest. It's been.
But just one more point on that, Dore. Don't be a YouTube snob. There's too many of those out there. When you say you do YouTube, people are like, oh, I don't do that kind of thing. Get on there and watch him. You've seen the imperfections. You quickly get over those. I've got the same imperfections. You quickly look beyond those and realise that it comes from the heart. He said earlier, he's not got a pen in his hand. He's not making any notes or trying to be clever. He's doing it from the heart because he's a Forest fan. And that's the final word.
Exactly. Right. I think we'll end it there. But like I said, people...
Can I just say something as well, Ben? Thank you.
Steve,
because going full circle, what I said at the beginning, I'm not from the Nottingham area. I don't know you guys personally that well, as in, like you grew up with each other, like, you Lee and Dylan and all that, and Des, Ben very well. It's like, give me the opportunity to talk about something I love. because in this area I don't have obviously many Forest fans around me, so to get to talk to you guys over this, the last couple of seasons. I mean, Des been doing this a while now together. Lee, I've got to know you. You welcomed me into your house to watch the Millwall game. I built my own little family up there, and I appreciate that, Ben, for allowing me to come on your channel. To talk about what I love, basically. I talk about Forest I talk about football in general, but Forest I talk about all day. And just thank you for giving me that exposure to talk about something I love. So thank you for that.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Like I said, like I mentioned now, we're back in the Premier League. And I've always said to people, if you want to come on my channel, you can. I'm not going to say I'm not that kind of person to say.
Sorry, Ben, I'm going to tweet this, Ben. I'm going to cry, right?
Huh? Oh, he's crying. Yeah, go away. I can't deal with people crying. But I said I'm not that kind of person to say to someone, you're not coming on my channel. I'm not a media trained person. I'm not a person like to say, oh, no, you can be a man, a woman, you're from Nottingham, anywhere around England. If you're a Forest fan, you can talk about football like me, Lee, Des, and Stephen. Come on my channel.
Just normal people, that's all we are.
Just normal people. I'm not like
everyone else.
Like,
sorry for that. I made my wife
cry. It's fine, Stephen. It's cool.
She knows what I've been through. See,
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But,
come on, you're right.
But like I said,
see that?
If you see that, like I said, and this is what happens with promoting the Premier League and this positive thing. Like I keep mentioning it, we was really bad at the start of the season. And now to look back and say we're in the Premier League, you know what? After this, I'm going to bed. I'm going straight to bed and think to myself, is this really happening? I've got to wait till the 16th of June to think we're in the Premier League. That's what it is.
Guess what?
What?
We are Premier League. Say we are Premier League.
See this? It's mad. It's like I said, just normal people that talk about my channel, talk about Forest, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to my new channel. And I mentioned tomorrow. I'm gonna do another show. If you're a Forest fan, and I might do one. I'm gonna do one tomorrow and one on Wednesday, and then I'm gonna have a little rest. But I might have a little rest. People like Lee might take over the channel. Des might take over the channel. Anyway, like it's just gonna be you not talk, and that's how it is. I mentioned about tomorrow. Like I said, if you are out of the UK, please message me on social medias, email me, and I'll get you on the show. Wednesday, I'm gonna get Forest fans who's from maybe Nottingham, Leicester, Derby, or wherever you're from, and just message me. Then I'll get you on Wednesday's show to see how you feel to be a Forest fan and we're back in the Premier League. So, yeah, it's been a pleasure, people. I want to say thank you, everyone that took time for this channel for the last review show. It's been a pleasure. And again, I don't want to cry, but it's been a pleasure for watching all my review shows, all my content, and it's a new start now. On my channel, we're back in the Premier League, and we're there, boys.
Thank you to Cooper and the lads. Well done, boys.
Thank you for the Cooper lads. Thank you, Steve Cooper and the lads. And shout out to Neil Cooper. I know Neil Cooper's watching this as well. He just messaged me.
Top man, Neil.
Neil, and but yeah, it's been a journey. Before I go, like I said, people, if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. People, subscribe to me. Subscribe to Des. The link is below. Go and message Lee if you're doing a kickboxing work. Follow his Twitter. Follow all our Twitter accounts. Show some love, please. Love, and love. We're back in the Premier League, people, and I'm gonna leave it out there. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock. And like I said, people, we're back in the Premier League.
Won't see you tomorrow. We'll see you in the Premier League.
We'll see you in the Premier League, people. Peace and love. and up the Reds.